Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer. The Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest. All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Show.
What is happening? Welcome to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne and guest host Matt Iwanyk. We are joining you live from the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet Burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. What a lovely day it is here. This being Tuesday, June 24th at ESTHQ. Nasties, how we doing? I see a lot of conversation already about the great ice cream, gelato, drumstick debate. And let me tell you something, Nasties. We're going to answer... Well, not we. We'll get to it here in a second, but we're going to get to it. We're going to settle this debate, kind of, once.
Well, we're settling
and for all.
We're testing things.
We are testing things, and we're doing it here at the pleasure of our listeners, our viewers. If you are listening on YouTube, hammer that thumbs up. You know what? We did not get to a single word of the day yesterday, and I would like to change that. Because today, I'm the host. You are not.
No.
But I would like to still follow the stickler rules that Matty laid out yesterday. What's a world if we don't have rules, right, Matthew?
That's what I believe, and that's why we didn't do a word of the day yesterday. We didn't get 130 likes.
So let's get off to a hot start. Let's get off to a bang. Let's try wrap this thing up in the first hour. We can do it.
Click. Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
Who's giving the word if we hit it? Like who's?
Well, that's a good question because
I feel like I have to give you the word.
I think you do.
Okay.
I think we'll switch roles. So if you'd like to see me take on a word of the day, please. I mean, hey, I believe in you. I believe in the listeners. I believe in the nasties. I know we can get this done. Matt may have his doubts, but not me. I'm the glue guy. Oh, see?
I may?
See what I have to deal with here on a daily basis? You can consume us, whether it's on YouTube, or you can consume us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can follow at Reid Wilkins, at Jason Milne, or at Matthew Iwanyk. And, of course, make sure you follow Yeg Sports Talk on all your socials. Maddie.
Yes.
How
Jay.
are you doing today?
I'm okay.
We just had a little bit of... Should we get into this? I think... So we're going to do the great ice cream debate later for buying or selling presented by Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Yeah.
But we gotta tell everybody what just happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you were going to come...
I'm drumstick guy.
You're team drumstick.
I'm team drumstick.
I
did my job, folks. You know, I did my job too. Don't tell me any other I did my job. I brought in 4 drumsticks because I want Coob to be a part of this, obviously. Well, let's start with Coob. Coob absolutely dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Coob did not bring in any sort of ice cream. The
or
first thing,
frozen dial dessert.
Frozen anything. Yeah,
dessert.
Really. Coob, what do you have to say for yourself to start?
I have to say I'm ashamed that I even showed up to work today. I knew on the way here that I didn't have anything and I didn't have any time to step out. And
wait, why didn't you have time?
Because I'm lazy and I forgot.
Right, no, but you're driving to work and you realize this.
Yes, but if I didn't show up, then the work that I had to do would be push back. And
It
I
would have
wanted
taken
to
like
do a
5
good
minutes
job.
to stop at a grocery store and run in and grab it.
But now I've made the excuse that I could just bring something in for another day. But
Yeah, when I'm not here.
now, yes, exactly. I'll save one for you. But I'm on your side with the drumsticks, so I would have just bought more.
I see
more
what you're trying
drumsticks.
to do here.
Yeah.
I cannot be bought.
Oh,
But Coob, it's okay. Because what happened? What had happened is Matthew brought in, I always want to call it sorbet, but it's
Gelato.
not. Gelato.
So I went to go get gelato. I'm team gelato. I asked you yesterday, are you good with pistachios? And you said, yes, you were good with pistachios. So I stopped and
Which I
saw
am.
a bunch of
I can eat
gelatos.
pistachios.
I saw a
Love
bunch
them.
of gelatos. I was debating. There was a few I was looking at, but I'm okay. I said pistachio. So I grabbed the pistachio. I looked at it. It says may contain peanuts and other nuts. I'm like, great. Perfect. Good to go. There's one that was a chocolate hazelnut. I'm definitely not getting that
Can't
one.
do that.
So I bring it in, and I meant to get you to look at it earlier, but I forgot. I don't know why I forgot, but I forgot. I guess I was coming in late today. I came in late today at work, like from when I'm
you were
usually
at
in
the
this
Elks
office.
practice.
I went to Elks practice. I had to go do something at the new office earlier this morning, so I was out and about and stuff. So I had to catch up to prep for today's show. So 10 minutes before we hit the airwaves. So this is
Literally.
15 minutes ago. I go into the room and I look and I go, hey, can you do may contain? And you're like, yeah, no, that's fine. And then I go through all the ingredients. And this is, again, a pistachio gelato. And I go through it. And the second last one, after all the other ones, was hazelnut flavoring.
Yep.
No idea why there's hazelnut flavoring in a pistachio gelato,
Brutal.
but there is. So Jay looks and he's like,
That might be problematic.
I'll try it. So he took a little bit.
Just a tiny, teeny bit.
And me like, no, I don't know.
I immediately felt, this might be risky. We don't need to see the big man go down during the epic ice cream challenge.
Yeah, so I
Or gelato.
rushed because what you do when you don't do something is you try to switch sides. You don't just be like, I'm out.
I don't think Coob's listening.
Yeah, he just yawning over there, missed it all. I ran out to the grocer, to not even the grocery store. I went to the Petro over here quickly. It's expensive what I had to pay for, but I bought a Haagen-Dazs. That's all they had.
Okay.
Was Haagen-Dazs, but I got a coffee flavored Haagen-Dazs.
Did we do a nut check
Guys,
on the coffee flavored
I did.
Haagen-Dazs?
I did. There was very almost no ingredients on this. You could look at it after.
Well, I appreciate you, not trying to kill me on air, although the nummies would have been big. Can you imagine just me starting to fall into the darkness? My kids are probably watching.
Coob decides to just leave it running as opposed to putting up a different graphic.
Mom, why is Daddy falling asleep on air?
What's that coming from his mouth?
Yeah, why is he foaming? Anyways,
Why is Matt slapping him in the face?
yeah, he's kissing him.
Jake! So we've got three.
We won't have that.
So you've got two things to try.
Yeah.
A good, then Haagen. You want to know something? Haagen-Dazs is a solid ice cream, so I'm glad that they had Haagen-Dazs there. They had a different other ice cream that I was not going to buy. I wouldn't have bought anything if that was all that was there. But there was a good Haagen-Dazs one, so I brought that one in. Coop and I get to go into the gelato one. We get to try the pistachio one and go all out. So Coop, even though he missed everything, he gets 3.
I'm the real winner here.
Yeah,
I
ultimately, you
get
already
3
start with the
things,
winner.
and I didn't even have to spend any money.
And I get 3, and you get the 2.
Well, quickly,
Apologies.
we might as well jump into the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox has Tap 25 restaurant, 50% off the entire menu, available 7 days a week from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. only at the River Cree Resort and Casino, where Matt at the Garrison says, I'll give Coob the pass. He's the underpaid rookie on the team. The stars on the team should be taking care of the young guys. I don't mind that. I would not consider myself a star, so I'm assuming that comment is directed towards our coup.
And I definitely not a star,
Matthew
so you've got
Iwanyk.
that completely wrong. Caster 1990, I will say I'm very glad that he's on my side on this one. Well, in a way. So unlike Tommy, who almost killed Reid with muffins, Matt's natural, suspicious nature of labels saved Jay.
Hey, it was a last minute save that could have been a really awkward situation.
Yes.
Troubling, because
Yes.
none of us would have thought that.
I am never buying you a dessert in my life ever again. I'm just saying that
They're
right now.
generally safe.
I am not buying you an ice cream. I'm buying you nothing when it comes to desserts ever again. I'm not even going to risk it with baked items. I'm never buying you unless I bake it myself.
Okay.
because I'm trying sourdough. I plan on bringing some bread to this office one day.
Oh, that would
Beyond
be good.
that, I'm never doing it again. Hazelnut flavoring.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Why?
Pistachio.
It doesn't need it.
No.
It doesn't need it. We got a loaded show coming up for you today. We are going to talk about the big game tonight in Canadian men's soccer team taking on El Salvador in Gold Cup action. Brendan Dunlop from Canadian Soccer Daily.com and the Northern Football Podcast will be joining us at 4 o'clock to break down that matchup. And then we're going to talk some NHL Draft. We got the man, the myth, the legend show regular, Guy Flaming, joining us from the Pipeline Show. He'll be joining us at 5. We've got the Oil Understood, crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP, and as well, buying or selling, which will be buying or selling on Drummies or Haagen-Dazs coming up in the 5
Or
o'clock.
gelato for two of us.
Or gelato for two of you. But I think the voting is,
well, you
is
could
now
still
completely
try it.
askew.
But what'd you think of it?
I don't have good memories thus far. It did give me a little bit of the a scratchiness in my throat. So those of you that have allergies know that that's time to stop, drop, and rinse your mouth out. But because we are on the topic, because it's a beautiful sunny day out there. I believe it's supposed to get up to about 21 today. I know there's
20 right now.
There's a lot of children. My oldest daughter in grade 7 finished her last exam today.
Round of clicks for her.
Yeah. Hey, can I?
Round of clicks for Grace.
Yeah. Can I humble brag here?
Yes.
85% average in her core subjects. I mean, if you add on the gym and the art and the drama, she'd had a great.
But the
grade
core
7
4.
year. The core 4, 85%, baby.
Boom.
Boom. Let's go. So a lot of kids are getting out of school. I know tomorrow is the last day of school for my little ones, but it's kind of a barbecue day.
Those are always fun days.
So those are fun day. Barbecue, water fight. So everybody's getting into the summer mood. We're going to have an ice cream buying or selling.
Yeah.
Gelato, ice cream, drummy discussion later. So the off-topic topic is brought to you by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is why they call what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. As you all know, everything that's in this studio, everything that's around our office is provided by William Huff. Excellent work. If you want your office to look like this, check them out. The off-topic topic today. What is your favorite summer treat? Now, I just want to clarify.
I do want to put a little parameter on this after you.
Do you want to go with your caveat first?
No.
Okay.
I'll let you go.
So mine is, I don't want this to be limited. We're not asking you what's your favorite thing in the frozen aisle. It's almost like an experience, a summer experience.
Oh, you're going to experience.
Well, but it's
Because I was wanting to limit food or drink.
Oh, I would go either.
Oh, no, but like food and drink, like not beyond that.
No, food
like,
and drink.
I go to the Riverhawks game. No. I don't want events or anything like that. I'm thinking something that goes into your mouth.
You could also say I'm drinking a bat at the Riverhawks game on a Friday evening where the sun is setting on a beautiful 20.
Poetic with this.
I do. I want you to show your work. Tell us what your favorite treat is, what you enjoy, why you enjoy it. It does not have to be an alcoholic. It can be anything. Like for mine, I'm just going to say, getting out on a Saturday afternoon, you've done some yard work, but now you got to do the lawn mowing.
Oh.
And I got to ride on lawnmower. You crack that beer, you get on that lawnmower, and you're just making straight lines, baby. Straight lines and a nice cold lager, probably a 6 o'clocker lager. That to me is just, that is beauty. That is a summer treat that I really like. Maddie?
Barry the Cheater, Slurpee with ice cream at Circle K. Mex Bezozu, biking the 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. I do think, like, I'm a guy that will go have a Slurpee in the winter months a little bit. I like my Slurpees. But there's something special about that, like, leaving work on a Thursday, it's 20-some degrees, you're like, I'm getting a Slurpee. Sunroof open, windows down a little bit, just drinking that Slurpee, driving home.
Now, are you a Slurpee guy that will put gummy candy in the bottom of it.
No, Jason Strudwick was known for that one.
That's a big me move.
That's a pretty good. I'd like
because you get them and they're almost frozen.
I'm actually, and I don't think this will surprise people. I generally don't like flavored Slurpees because they lose their flavor too soon, and I feel like I'm wasting the one. I just want a good Coke or Pepsi.
Are you the kid that you order a snow cone, no topping?
No. As a kid, I did it all.
I just want the ice, please.
No, as a kid, I loved it all. As a kid, I mixed the Slurpees.
So what kind of flavor do you get?
Just Coke or Pepsi. That's all I want.
Oh, okay.
I just want that one. If I'm not mixing, I'm not trying. Anytime they come out with a new flavor, I go try it, and I've tried it. I just get disappointed in it about halfway through. You just can't beat a Coke or a Pepsi one. Just give me the cola. That's all I want. And I'm a happy guy. The other one I have, by the way, Bud Light Lime on a golf course. It's got to be on the golf course. But there's something about the beer cart coming by. You're on whatever hole it is. You look, you see the Bud Light Lime. You're like, yes.
I'm going to take this to the next level. How about the beer cart on a golf course? Just seeing it rolling up, and when you're a few holes behind. Let's say you're a couple holes away, but you see it go down the fairway of the hole beside you, and you're like, boys, we're next.
But then if they turn the wrong way,
can't do that.
You get angry.
Can't do that. I mean, you got to go in the flow of the hole. And the Wolf house band for EST. Thanks for chiming in. Ice cream sandwich that I forgot about melting in the back pocket of my jean shorts. That would be a problem. Jen Cool, a cold plate, sliced meat, cheeses, crackers, buns, really anything that doesn't require the oven and is ready right away. I do like a really good. See, I like a poor man's charcuterie board.
What's the poor man's charcuterie board?
Well, I think a fancy charcuterie board has different fancier cheeses, maybe grapes, maybe some tapenade, maybe some sun-dried tomatoes. Really.
Okay, but what's the poor man's?
Poor man's is Stanichi sausage, marbled cheese, and Ritz crackers, baby. Like that. That to me is all I need. Maybe some little pickles, maybe some pickled garlic.
That's it.
Yeah,
you've nailed it.
That's it. I don't need the fanciness of a real fancy, I guess, charcuterie board.
The other thing for me, because this is not something I will do in the fall or winter. This is summer to me. Spits.
Oh.
Pulling out. I've already crushed, I think, 5 bags of Spits this year.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing like the Spits. And I will say this, smoky barbecue from Spits, that actual brand, like the legit brand, I think is the top tier of Spits, of all sunflowers.
Which, sorry?
Smoked barbecue. It's the red bag. That is to me probably the best one. Followed by chili heat and dill pickle.
You don't have dill pickle in the top?
It's tied for 2. No, that smoked barbecue, it's way better.
What do you think of the people that are the old-fashioned seasoned?
It's a solid one.
It's not bad. But I think
they come up with so many. The cracked pepper.
Cracked pepper is up there for me. But see, I have a love-hate relationship with Spits because once I start cracking, I can't stop. And next thing you know, I got raw mouth. I hate that.
That's true.
I hate that when the inside of your cheeks feel like they've been in a 12-round boxing match.
Got to mix in a little bit of water in that.
Well, sure,
as much as you can.
But that's not going to stop the inevitable.
There was a chili lime that Spits had, and I never got my hand on it.
What are the other Spits, though? There's Spits brand in there. What about Biggs?
There's Biggs. There's David's. I don't like them.
Hey,
I've tried them, and I'm not a fan. I can't do. Just give me. I just want Spits brand. They were Canadian. They're from Lethbridge or something. Give me Spits. I don't want any of that other Biggs or Davids.
Bashaw. I believe they're from. No,
is that where it is? Bashaw. You might be right.
Maybe not Bashaw. A lot of lime Slurpee coming into the nasty chat, and I gotta say, our esteemed colleague Joaquin Gage told me the trick with a lime Slurpee. When lime Slurpees are out, you maybe go pour a little something into there. Now he's a tequila guy. He's a mezcal tequila guy. He says it's like a poor man's margarita.
Actually, that does sound great.
Doesn't that sound fantastic? And you could even mix in a little bit of Sprite to dampen the limeness if you wanted.
Now I know it's for tomorrow here at the office.
It's gonna be an exciting Thursday. We've got lots to get to. Lots of lots of great messages coming in on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We've got Jay's Play of the Day coming up. We've got Brendan Dunlap talking soccer. We've got it all. But first, the Kubinator.
According to the fourth period's Dave Pagnotta, Tampa Bay's Cam Atkinson will test free agency July 1st as an unrestricted free agent. Staying in hockey, the Hockey Hall of Fame has announced this year's inductions, including three-time Stanley Cup champion Duncan Keith, Sharks legend Joe Thornton, former Sabre Alex McGillney, and longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara. Elsewhere, Matt Martin, has announced his retirement from the NHL after playing nearly 1,000 games between the Leafs and the Islanders. For the Jays, they open up a 3-game series with the Guardians. Eric Lauer takes them out for Toronto, first pitch at 4:40. And ESPN's Sham Charania has reported that the Pelicans are trading for Washington's CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-rounder in exchange for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and a 40th overall pick in tomorrow's draft. Out in Victoria, the Riverhawks play the Harbour Cats. Catch all the action on any of ESC's audio streams, with first pitch just after 7:30. While down in Texas, Canada meets El Salvador in Gold Cup action. They hit the pitch at 8 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. More with Jay and Matt on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Two guys and a goalie.
The others might be interested in bringing Kapanen back. And the others are going to talk to Connor Brown. And the others are going to bring back Corey Perry. So over or under for number crunchers today, 1.5, Perry, Kapanen, and Brown returning.
In a perfect world, I would take the under and just say Corey Perry. I do have time for Connor Brown. The Kapanen thing I don't care for, personally.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the Banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Here's to the beautiful lakes and stunning landscapes Canada has to offer. And for the kayak, camping gear, and summer toys you used to enjoy them? Need extra space? Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Happy Canada Day.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. And how about that thumb remix? We're on a good pace. We're doing well. But if you haven't yet, please, if you're watching on YouTube, go and hammer that thumbs up. I'd love to have Matthew Iwanyk give me a word of the day. I don't think I've ever received a word of the day.
I did it to you, I think, before.
Did you do last time we did this?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we went 1 for 1 or something, or back and forth.
Well,
tit for tat, as they say. So yeah, if you haven't yet, please hammer that thumbs up. As I mentioned earlier, lots of Canada soccer talk, NFL or NHL draft talk, and of course the great ice cream gelato drumstick debate coming up later. The off-topic topic for William Huff was, what is your favorite summer treat? Maddie, what are you seeing over there?
Chris in the River Cree inbox, campfire snacks, chips, s'mores, spits, cheesies, rum, and cokes. Means the weather is nice enough to kick it outside past 6 p.m. Man, the Garrison lighting up the community barbecue at your Maui resort as the sun sets at 6, cold drink in hand. Dinner sizzling on the grill. Doesn't get much better than that. Collingwood Rob, I like this one. A nice cold, sweet watermelon.
Ooh, that is nice.
Actually, do you know what's another good one? Oh, and Bronco Nick has, I like Orange Crush bottom, Mountain Dew top for a slush.
Orange Crush bottom,
Mountain Dew on the top.
You got to mix in some cream soda, in my opinion.
I do want to get to Dr. John's here as well. I'll first get to Dr. John's. My mom used to make this peanut butter ice cream pie before she passed away. Graham cracker crust with vanilla ice cream and amazing peanut butter sauce drizzled over top. So good for hot summer days. And made from the mom. It's always
made
better.
With love.
It's always better when it's made from mom. So that must bring back memories. Cherries.
Cherries.
I love when cherries are in season. You can go to the grocery store, get them for a good price. I love crushing a good bag of cherries.
Now, let's talk about this.
Why?
Because I think there's a hierarchy, or at least a 1-2 of cherries, in my opinion. Just the regular store-bought, like a red cherry.
No, I'm not talking about those ones.
You're talking about the two-tone ones.
The Bings, I guess they're called.
The Bings? Two-tone cherry.
Like this one right here, I think.
No,
that's not that one.
That's not what I'm talking about. What are those ones called?
I don't know. You know what? I'm not talking about like a maraschino cherry or anything.
No.
You go to the grocery store and they're just there in bags.
They're red in color, right?
Or the reddish purple.
The Rainier cherry. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the Cadillac of cherries.
No, those aren't the ones I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about those ones.
Really?
I'm talking about these ones right here on the right.
I find the Rainier cherry to have much more of a distinct crunch to it. Like they're almost like a miniature apple, but they taste like a cherry. Cherries are good. Are you a cold watermelon guy?
As opposed to what?
Like usually you can leave your melon on the counter. You can leave your melon on the counter.
Not for long. Like, I see.
They don't sit in the frozen or the freezer or they're not cooled in the grocery store. I find when they're cold, like maybe you eat half of watermelon and you put it in the fridge.
I don't want it too cold.
I don't like that. I don't need to be biting it. It's like you're biting into an ice cream bar.
That's why I use a fork and knife.
That was.
Look, I'm wearing it again today. I've got white shorts on. I am not having splashback eating a watermelon going on my white shorts.
Reid Wilkins in the nasty chat. Favorite summer treat? Strawberry milkshake from DQ. What do you say about that?
I've never had it.
I'm not a milkshake guy.
No. Ever go to Peter's in Calgary and try theirs?
I know that they're available there. I don't need to be like glugging on a straw to get something into my mouth. You know what I mean?
I think there's you need a line of milkshake. Like, it can't be too thick. You have to be able to suck it up out of the straw without extra effort.
Yeah, I don't want to crimp the straw trying to get the milkshake.
And you barely get anything. I don't want that.
No.
And I don't want to be eating it with a fork or a spoon.
Erico says hard ice cream in a waffle cone. That is peak. I mean, that's summer in a waffle cone. You don't get much better than that.
Did you ever go grab a lemonade?
Yeah, my daughters have a lemonade stand all the time.
But
like freshly squeezed.
Yeah,
they make it.
Like if you're at K-Days or something, do you ever grab one of their lemonades?
No, because it's so overpriced.
Okay, well, that part.
Do you know how much sugar is in those?
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's an amazing amount of sugar.
Do you drink the red root beers? Like they're in like the kegs at K-Days or something? I actually like those root beers. Zach knows what I'm talking about. Sobe Kirk, plastic straws for Slurpees though. You want to know something? I have no problem.
Do we need to get into this?
I have no problem with most of the utensils, like having to. I Slurpee one I couldn't get on board with.
Well, it's problematic because the straw is disintegrated before you're done.
It didn't work.
It doesn't hold up.
It didn't work. That one, 100%. You can't have a Slurpee without a plastic straw.
I went to an establishment in Sherwood Park on Sunday. Full plastic straws.
We still have. Well, you're allowed now.
Are you?
That change happened.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that one's allowed.
So what are these guys doing at Slurpee stores? What's 7-Eleven doing?
I thought they'd
give the kids their damn straws back.
And again, I'm on board with it for other. I get the utensil. I did understand it, but I will say for the Slurpee, it didn't make sense. It didn't add up. It just didn't work. It could hold up to what you are drinking. Now I want a Slurpee. So what? I'm gonna get a Slurpee on the way home today now.
Skip the dishes. You can bring them in right here or something, right?
I can get them. I still need to get something.
To skip the dishes.
Cool.
It's not far, Sev.
Not far.
Yeah, during a commercial break, I go.
Not a commercial, but during one of these segments, we could go. I know how to run the board.
You're the boss, Maddie. If you want me to go pick you up a Slurpee, I can go do it right now.
I'll get it on the way home.
Look, we got lots of
but
soccer
we also have
talk
a lot of
coming
ice
up.
cream to eat.
We do. And we got lots of soccer talk coming up. And here's the thing. What else is I know there's WNBA on.
Yeah.
There's a big matchup tonight. Something you might be interested in. Well, yeah, isn't Paige Beckers taking on Caitlin Clark for the first time?
Is it?
I believe.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Team Paige Beckers. I have no problem with Caitlin Clark, but I've been a big Beckers fan for a while.
I believe.
Fever take on the Storm, so no.
Maybe it's a tomorrow.
That's got to be coming up. But
there's nothing. There's no CFL. There's obviously no NHL. There's no drafts on tonight. This is a great night to settle in.
Friday
to a soccer match.
Friday,
right, Maddie?
100%.
I mean, I love live sports. I don't care what it is. Now, you know where soccer probably ranks in a lot of people's minds. For some, it's the number one sport. And they're saying, yeah, you dum-dums. We've been telling you this for a long time. But now, tonight is a great night to settle in.
Yeah, and it's like, it will be top of mind come a year from now.
Absolutely.
When we saw it with last year at Copa America, when Canada was taking on Argentina in the semifinal, that actually the whole Copa America, the numbers for Canada soccer were massive. So next year, it is going to be a big deal here in Canada and the US. You guys won't see a lot of me, hopefully, at that time.
Why, are you going to go?
That's the whole plan.
Really?
If I have to use up every single vacation day I have over the course of that, I will. Like, I'm going to have to talk to Dusty and be like, hey, can I bring the hangout on the road and I'll work from the road on stuff? Like, I don't know. I got to plan that out. But
you going to bring me?
Well, if you want to, if you want to come, I will get the ticket if I can. But so this is the last big competition Canada has ahead of the World Cup. And like, they're taking on El Salvador, and then we're done the knockout stage and the group stage, we go to the knockout stage. 8:00. What else are we doing on a summer night? The sun's still out. We get to watch this Canadian team. There's a lot of good young Canadians, some new players to this team that have really shown up to a degree out of this tournament. They're coming off of our guest, Brendan Dunlop, for their podcast, Northern Football Podcast. They had the tweet for the breaking it down, and they said 1-1 loss, Canada versus Curacao. Like, it felt that way for Canada. They should be better than that. But we got a big game today. And when you look at Play Alberta, like, usually when you look at lines in soccer, it's the three-way. It's the winner, draw, and the other winner. It could vary of where it goes, but you're generally plus money across the board. And even if there isn't plus money, it's like minus 150 or something like that. Canada today against El Salvador is minus 556. For those that don't understand, you have to bet $556 to win $100. So it's one of those games too and matches you really want to see them come up, step up, really flex their muscles again. They did it against Honduras last week. That was after the Oilers lost to the Panthers in Game 6, so I don't know how a lot of people that flipped over to that game. But Canada was brilliant in that one. 6-0 win with amazing goals. Like, it wasn't garbage goals. It wasn't like a fluky goal or penalty kicks. They had some beautiful strikes in that 6-0 games. Hopefully we see a team that's more like that today. And after this, if they move on, which they should, upwards of 3 more matches left, which includes, if they win today, we're on a trajectory path for the U.S. in the semifinals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's always good to get the U.S. involved.
We beat them.
The
last time we played them.
Lay a whooping on them. Now, I know we do have some listeners that are down in the U.S., so sorry about that, but that's just being a Canadian. Anytime you face an American squad, you want to beat them. That's facts of life. And we will get, just so everybody knows, we're having Brendan Dunlop on. I will ask him just to break this all down. Set it all up. Set the stage for those of you, us, that may not be as in tune with this as a lot of people, because this is a pretty big deal, a pretty big stage that they're on right now.
Yeah, Canada hasn't won the Gold Cup since 2000.
Right, change that.
And I have money at Play Alberta on them at plus 550, I think, to win this. They have it in them to go win this. It's now would be amazing if Canada could go and actually go execute that. Unfortunately, Saturday, it's like, are we back to this with Canada again? Hopefully today they're back to being what it needs to be.
Pat in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox says Bow Island. That's where spits are made.
Is it Bow Island?
Bow Island. Now, oddly enough, it is not an island. Rather, it's a small town in Alberta. Rob from the Grove. Also, the best thing is sitting at Commonwealth watching the Double E playing football, having a Ryan Ginger from the can. You can have a Ryan Ginger from a can?
You can do everything now.
What do you mean a Ryan Ginger from the can? Do you buy a can of ginger ale and sneak in the rye, or do they serve this pre-made?
Oh, there's pre-made drinks all the time.
Ryan Ginger?
Canadian Club has it.
Really?
So they have a Ryan Ginger in a can that you just get. I've had them, I think, at like on golf courses. You'll see it and stuff. I'll show you. If you look on this screen here, you can see it right there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Canadian. I've seen that. Huh. Corey B., what about a good Yucca Flux?
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what a Yucca Flux is?
Nope.
Okay. This is time to learn something with Jay and Matt. Boards with Jay.
Before you get into that, Corey B., nice congratulations on that Elks jersey.
Great setup you had there, Corey.
Nice clothing choice as you're picking up that jersey.
In Edmonton Sports Talk here. That was beautiful.
A Jurgen Flux?
Yucca Flux.
Yucca Flux.
So you can do a miniature Yucca Flux. You can do, I think the number one Yucca Flux contender is a watermelon. So
I think I know where this is going.
You put in a spout into it, almost like a reverse spigot, and you'd pour vodka into the watermelon or whatever. Or you can cut it up. You can cut up mixed fruits and just have them marinate in a cooler. And then you just take your cup and all the fruit is nicely marinated at that point.
I have never had it.
But you can also do that. I think a guy that used to work for us said he used to do this. They'd take oranges into like the football game when it was black at Clark Stadium. But they put a hole in it and they'd pour whatever alcoholic or liquor that they wanted in that, and it would really absorb in a little orange, and you'd take that and eat your orange.
My parents took some cherries and threw it in some moonshine. Soaked up that moonshine.
Yeah, fruit has the ability to absorb quite a bit.
Are we bringing that in this week too now?
This could be a great week here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Reid Wilkins, by the way, is off. Today is his last day off of what would we call that? Forced holidays?
No, today's not forced holiday.
By Matthew Iwanyk.
Today is not forced.
Yes, it is. Don't
he had an
believe him.
appointment today.
Oh, please. He could have got around that.
Absolutely could have, but he chose to take it off instead.
We kid. But Reid will be back in the big chair tomorrow. Coming up next after the break, it's Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta. And we're going to talk about the NHL Draft just a bit to set it up before Guy Flaming joins us later in the show. That's all coming up after the break. But first, Zachary Kubish.
The 2025 class of Hockey Hall of Fame inductees were announced, having longtime Blackhawk former Oiler Duncan Keith elected to the Hall, alongside former 70-goal scorer Alex McGillney, longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara, and Sharks legend Joe Thornton. In other news, Islanders enforcer Matt Martin has announced his retirement, playing nearly 1,000 games in the league, while Dave Pagnotta of the fourth period has reported that Cam Atkinson of the Lightning will test free agency as an unrestricted free agent. In baseball, the Jays battle the Guardians to open their 3-game series. First pitch is at 4:40. Eric Lauer gets the ball for Toronto. Logan Allen for Cleveland. And other action sees the Mariners and Twins rematch. D-backs take on the White Sox, while the Phillies and Astros have a date. And out west, it's Edmonton on the road in Victoria. Riverhawks facing the Harbor Cats. Catch the full game on any of EST's audio streams. That one starts just after 7:30. Back in Alberta, Energy City visits Lethbridge for the first of 2 games. Cactus Rats on a 2-game slide. First pitch just after 5, and in Houston, Canada. And El Salvador duke it out in CONCACAF Gold Cup action. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Jays play the day for Play Alberta, and much more brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Listen, I should stop cracking on David Tomasek.
You really hate David Tomasek.
I don't hate David Tomasek. What I hate is the principle of going and dipping into Europe, giving a guy guaranteed money, and he's done diddly squat as an NHLer. That, to me, I just don't believe in that philosophy. And if David Tomasek comes in and has a great season, kudos to the Oilers and their scouting staff.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Oh, baby. That's a nice jam. I always like to guess the song.
Is this yours?
No, this would be, if I had to guess the name of this would be...
Oh, is this the generic stuff or whatever?
YouTube Studio,
Summer
baby.
Cruising.
Oh, I was going to go Summer Breezing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty, well, it's kind of close. Crimson Fly.
That's not close at all.
No. The vibe's there, okay? By Humma Humma.
What was the actual name?
Crimson Fly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we tried.
I like our names better.
I do too. Thank you for joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and my good friend, guest host, Matthew Iwanyk, the coup of Edmonton Sports Talk. What are we at here? We're doing okay, folks. We just need, you know what? We got the right amount of people watching. Let's try to get to 100 before 4 o'clock. So before the end of the segment, let's get to 100 thumbs. If you have not clicked that thumb, go ahead and do so. A reminder that you can listen to us on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, iHeartRadio, or the TuneIn app, as well as, most of you know, YouTube. Matthew.
Jay.
What time is it?
I don't know if it's muted. Yeah.
It's Jay. It's play. Please, Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day.
Come on, Maddie.
Jay's play of the day.
Come on, Maddie. It's a soccer play. I thought you, of all people, would be jamming and grooving and moving with that one. No?
I guess. Maybe. I didn't. Sorry. Maybe I'll do it on the back end.
It is time for Jay's Play of the Day, brought to you by Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now, with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. And a reminder, if you haven't already, use the EST exclusive promo, EST Casino. Deposit $20 or more and get a $50 bonus. As well, you can deposit $20 or more. Use the promo code EST Sports and get a $50 free bet from the good people over at Play Alberta. As I mentioned, and as we've talked about, Canada is taking on El Salvador. Hernan sure says that better than me.
He was saying it today.
He was saying it so well. It just sounds so good.
El Salvador. I can't even, like, I could roll and stuff, but I don't know how he's doing.
But I'd feel dishonest doing it. I can't try.
He crushes it.
I mean, he's Chilean, so he can do that. He can roll the R's. So I'm going to have, you're stuck with me saying El Salvador, like the most Canadian way to. Gold Cup action tonight. Look, El Salvador has failed to beat Canada in 6 consecutive competitive meetings. The last victory by El Salvador over Canada was in the World Cup in 1997. And I think Jonathan David is due. Jonathan David set a Canadian record with 6 goals in the 2019 Gold Cup. The last Gold Cup, he was not able to play due to injury. He has been held scoreless in both matches in this year's Gold Cup. So I have a Jonathan David anytime goal score that was at minus 106. But as you know, the good people over at Play Alberta give us the odds that you can only get through the EST specials over at playalberta.ca. So head on over there. I still have 2 plays of the day up. That's how good this is. But for today, Jay's Play of the Day is Canada versus El Salvador. Jonathan Davis, 1 or more goals. That has been boosted to 104. So you're now getting positive odds on that.
He's always a threat to score for the Canadian men's national team, as you've mentioned. No goals in the Gold Cup, so he kind of is due. Canadians are going to be pissed off from their draw to Curacao this weekend. This is a guy, like, in the competition before the Gold Cup, which was the Canadian Shield. He played against Ukraine. He had 2 goals early. I think in the first 30 minutes he had 2 goals. It's often a nice bet. But here's how you know that it's a nice bet that for him to score tonight is that it was minus money.
Yes.
Soccer players generally are not minus money. So to get that back into plus territory is a huge bet right there. So Jay's Play of the Day, I love it. I think it's a good one. I think Canada, if they're going to go out and score some goals, this guy is just on a different level. And it's reported he's going to Juventus. He's a free agent overseas. And it was reported today that it sounds like maybe Juventus is the club he's going to be off to out in Italy, which is a very historic club. So a big move for a Canadian to a big club. And so maybe he's just got a little bit of extra incentive to try to finish that deal, push it over the edge by going up against El Salvador and getting that goal.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
Yeah, they got the name wrong.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sorry, just looking at this here because I was looking at the Grand Est or the Grand EST parlay, and they have Jonathan David as well with a goal. Mine says Jonathan Davies.
Well, you sent Jonathan Davies.
That's my fault.
Yeah, but that's still the same player.
There is no Jonathan Davies.
No, I know, but I think they because Davies isn't playing. Alphonso Davies isn't playing.
Right.
So he's not there. So I think
I think I should clarify that with the people over there as well.
Well, I was just sending it right now.
Can you do that? Yeah. Huh. Didn't even notice that until now. I digress. Look, the NFL or NHL draft is happening on Thursday. You know, the Oilers, what do they have? They have a third round. Or sorry, a third round, 6th round, and 7th round draft pick.
No first round pick in 2026 as well. So, like last year, they traded up into the first round by giving up this year's pick, I believe it was. And then trade deadline traded 26, I think is how it went out. So don't even have that extra capital to trade into the first round.
Is this just, okay, so here's the thing. With the NHL draft, you're drafting a lot, especially where the Oilers are drafting. I mean, that's mostly going to be prospects at that point. I mean, their first pick is at 83rd overall, right?
Yep.
The NFL draft, when you're picking first, second round guys, those players are all going, they're going to be members of your team.
Yes.
They're going to be playing.
Yes.
You know, the first round of an NHL draft doesn't necessarily mean that these players are going to be contributing to your team.
No, if I recall correctly, NHL draft 3rd or later is complete crapshoot. The majority of the players will never see the light of day in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, combine that with the fact that the Oilers don't really have any picks till the 3rd round. The season went extra long. You know, there might be a little bit of Oiler fatigue anyways. Do you think this draft is commanding as much attention as it would in normal years, or?
No, this is what it is for a team that goes to the Cup final. This is what it's, you did not have the pleasure and privilege of working in Edmonton radio during the Decade of Darkness.
No, I did not.
You did not have the wonderful experience that Dusty, Eric, Tommy, Reid, myself had of working on a wonderful radio where in November you're going, okay, first overall pick this year. Who are the players we're talking about for the next 6 months? When you're a bottom team, what you have to get hyped up for is the draft. What you have to get hyped up for is that, is there going to be trades? Can we add some extra picks? And who's the big player that's going to come and help turn the fortunes around of this franchise? When you are a good team like the Edmonton Oilers, when you are a team like the Florida Panthers, when you are a team like, I will throw the Dallas Stars, you don't care about the draft at this point. You care about cups. You care about the long playoff run. And it's always going to be, the draft's going to come, like, oh yeah, it's the draft this week. Oh, look at that. The moment you fall down and you're missing the playoffs, or you're a little bit of that bubble team that maybe just makes the playoffs, the draft will have bigger attention. I think in Edmonton, it's if you go to other markets, if you go, who's draft? I got to see I don't even know who's picking everywhere. If you go to Calgary, if you go to Vancouver, if you go to Montreal, like they're drafting 15, 16, 16, 17, 18. Montreal's got 2 picks in there. They're going to be more excited about it. I'm sure if we had Calgary Sports Talk, it'd be a lot more excitement around the draft. But for Edmonton, it's who cares? Don't have picks. This is a cup winning team. Doesn't matter. These are players that, for the most part, outside of the top 5 picks type thing, they don't matter for 2, 3, 4 years. The Oilers are about now. So no, I think it's about the right amount for the market that we were in. Trust me, you don't want the draft to be that important.
Right.
Again, a decade of it.
But even in the NBA draft, which is coming up tomorrow, I mean, those players that are taken in the first round are going to, for the most part, be contributing members to that team the following year.
Largely, unless you're
NFL,
OKC.
Definitely.
But they don't, the NFL doesn't have a development link to send these guys to.
Yep.
The NHL has, some of these players could stay in juniors or they could stay in NCAA. They have the American Hockey League. They have the East Coast Hockey League. Same with baseball. Baseball, no one cares about the baseball as much. And it's not a big thing where you're drafting this player's coming to our team next year or this year, because then that draft happens during the season. So it's different. And The only way it could have been exciting is, if the Oilers, you have a pick, like this is an asset that can maybe get moved in the next couple of years in another trade deadline deal to get you someone else.
And just a reminder to everybody listening, coming up after 4 o'clock, we're going to have the Oil Understood, where Maddie is taking a little bit of a peek inside the cap situation, what is going to look for the Oilers. Because yesterday we talked about how I, for one, think that there may be a case to keep Evander Kane around, given that he is going into a contract year. He is healthy. I think this is an opportunity to maybe see the best version of Evander Kane that this team has seen, obviously injury aside. But Maddie's going to look at, what it looks like if the Oilers were to trade Evander Kane. Were to trade Victor Arvidsson. And you're even throwing another name into that.
Adam Henrik, there's a lot of people that say Henrik should not be back. Victor Arvidsson's going, and it sounds like both parties are okay with him moving on. And Evander Kane. There's a lot of that going on out there. So I went on Puckpedia. I think I did it right. We signed Evan Bouchard to $10 million.
Which is around
Trent Frederick to $4 million. That was it. I kept the goalies the same. I kept everything else the same. I put I have 6-7 man defenseman roster. We will get to that in the next hour. I've got just the forward groups, and there's a few spots to still be filled. And I got, according to Puckpedia, about $9 million to spend. And I think took those other ones off the books. So how are the Oilers going to go fill that out?
So we'll dive into that for the Oil Understood presented by GCL Diesel. That'll be coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. The off-topic topic, however, for William Huff was, what is your favorite summer treat? This one stood out for me. There's a couple things that have stood out. A lot of love for Wendy's Frosties.
Do you know what you should do with the Frosties too?
If you're going to say dip a French fry in it.
Their fries.
What are we talking about?
Have you tried it?
No. So I'm not going to throw shade as much
do
as
it.
Really?
Do it. What's that look for?
You have to try it.
Okay,
I'm going to bring in Wendy's Frosties.
Yeah. Okay, Coop.
And
so
some fries.
6 months from now when he brings it in.
Yeah. When you're on a break or something, I'll bring it in for everybody else. Yeah.
It does work.
I don't.
They're frosty. They're fries. Wendy's has solid, top-notch fries. They are really good fries. You add those to the Frosties, it works.
See, but the thing is about a French fry is I want the crunchy crispiness of a French fry and the salt. I'm not necessarily looking for sweet, but you're telling me I'm wrong.
Salted chocolate. You ever not had salted chocolate?
I've had salted caramel,
and it's on ice cream.
Huh.
So now you're just adding a potato into this.
I don't know about that. Lars in the nasty chat says, where was this here? Orange Crush and Tiger ice cream. Like, is he making a float?
Sounds like it.
Tiger ice cream is underrated. You have to be able to like and accept the flavor and taste of it's not necessarily black. I guess it is black licorice. But for some reason, with the orange ice cream and the black licorice, it works.
There was Spumoni ice cream where I was when I bought the one that was going to kill you.
Mex Bezozu says it's like chocolate-covered pretzels. Is that a fair way to describe it? The French fry into the Wendy's Frosty?
Well, yeah. I'd go with that. It is something to try. Go get a small Frosty. They're like 99 cents sometimes. You get a small bit of fries and just put a couple in there and try it.
Okay, well, that is the off-topic topic. What is your favorite summer treat? Keep those coming into the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, where at Tap 25, it's 50% off the entire menu, available 7 days a week from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I was looking at this schedule they got coming up. They got Ian Munzik, July 5th, Steve Earle, and Reckless Kelly, July 25th. The Bay City Rollers on August 7th. Aren't the Bay City Rollers the ones that sang that song Saturday Night?
I don't know them. I don't know why. Oh, there is Saturday Night rolling. Here, let's see if this plays. There might be an ad. Sorry, hold up a few seconds.
Got to get through the ad?
Yep.
and the Northern Football Podcast. We're going to take you out with the Bay City Rollers here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your place for Edmonton sports and groovin' music. Coob, take us out.
The Lock Shop.
There's no hockey. There's no anything on. The Jays weren't on because usually I just throw on the Jays game. So I flipped around through 3 baseball games last night. For the first time all baseball season, I was like, oh, yeah, watch this game for a bit, watch the Yankees game for a bit, watch the Angels and Red Sox. Marshall and I are watching the Mariners game, and all they're talking about is Cal Raleigh, their catcher who's having that phenomenal season right now. And Mark, they just kept cutting back to him, and his nickname is the Big Dumper because he's got a huge ass.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
For the Islanders, enforcer Matt Martin has announced his retirement after 987 games in the league, split between New York and Toronto. Other NHL news has David Pagnotta of the fourth period reporting that Tampa Bay's Cam Atkinson will hit the free market July 1st as an unrestricted free agent. In baseball, there's 15 games. Toronto and Cleveland open up a 3-game series. Eric Lauer gets a start for the Jays' first pitch at 4:40. And around the league, Rangers and Orioles meet the Braves, and Mets rematch before the Yankees battle the Reds. Staying in baseball, the Riverhawks take on the Harbor Cats. Edmonton on a 3-game win streak. Tune into the action live on any of EST's audio streams with coverage starting just after 7:30. And back in Alberta, Energy City visits Lethbridge for the first of 2 games. Cactus Rats on a 2-game slide. First pitch just after 5. From Houston, it's Canada taking on El Salvador in Gold Cup action. Canada toppling Honduras last week. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. We are joining you live from the Banquet Studio, where you can strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar, bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the Banquet. Lots of good submissions incoming on the William Huff off-topic topic. What is your favorite summer treat? This might be just one of the most in-your-face but direct, simple answers from Penner's Pancakes. Just a Timmy's Ice Cap. It hits the spot on a hot day.
I haven't had an ice cap in years. Not going to lie.
My oldest daughter loves ice cap.
I did as a kid when junior high schoolish. I liked it then.
Yeah,
it's just not something like I'd rather go get a Slurpee now. Or I like honestly, I don't know. I'd just still take a black iced coffee, like what you usually drink.
Yeah, like this bad boy right here.
I'd rather just have that. Did you ever have the Nitro Brew at Starbucks?
No, ugh, don't
You
like
even know
it.
what it is.
Oh, I have that. Yes, I have, but I will not get it.
Okay,
just
well, I
get the
said,
black
have you ever
iced
had it? No, I haven't.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, but you said you never had it. Figure it out.
It is time to set up the big match tonight, Gold Cup action. We are joined by Brendan Dunlop from CanadianSoccerDaily.com, as well as the Northern Football Podcast. Brendan, how you doing today?
No, he just texted me saying he can't hear anything.
We will get back in touch with him. That's not bad. I can go through that again. I can run that back. I will say, while I have a minute, I am in the host chair today.
Yes.
It's not exactly the easiest gig. It takes a lot of practice to do that. I hope I'm doing it to your liking, Matthew. I hope I'm going to get a passing grade on a performance review after this.
Doing a wonderful job. You have terrible takes on certain things, but
stop it. What do you say, Coob?
He's just on the phone right now. He'll let you know when Brendan's ready. So he was then saying maybe we could try Zoom, but
iced cap with chocolate milk from Jasmine. Interesting.
Ooh. Let's give this another go.
Okay, we are joined now by Brendan Dunlop from CanadianSoccerDaily.com, as well as the Northern Football Podcast. Brendan, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you, my man. I got you.
All right. Thanks for joining us today on the Reid Wilkins Show here at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Match day is here as the Canadian men's national team takes on El Salvador in Gold Cup action. What's at stake, Brendan? Set the stage for this game tonight.
Well, Canada got to win the group for starters. The expectation is this is a team that should be contending to win the Gold Cup for the first time in 25 years since Greg Forrest and Jason DeVos and Jimmy Brennan and Paul Stalteri did it. And after tying Curacao 1-1, they don't look like that type of team. Do I think that the United States, who had a perfect 9 points from the group, are better? No. Do I think that Mexico are better? Maybe. But Canada can prove tonight that they are at least group winners and have a much better showing. And for the first time in this tournament, have Jesse Marsh on the touchline after serving out his 2-game suspension and not incurring any more penalties for having a back and forth and having a go with CONCACAF that resulted in an investigation after things in Vancouver. So yeah, there's another great opportunity for them to show how much better that they are, and that they are one of the best teams in CONCACAF, which I truly believe that they are.
Brendan, Matt here. Before we continue on with today's match, I do want to go back to last Saturday. Like last week, taking on Honduras, the Canadian side, 6-0 win, looking really good. But then it's 1-1 against Curacao. What happened in that match? What did you see from Canada that they were doing that they weren't doing on Tuesday? Then, does that put any fear in you going into tonight?
Yeah, there's reason for concern. I mean, you don't want to replicate that. The one factor that should carry over from Saturday is it's a furnace down there. It's horrible conditions to play in. And I'm in New York, New Jersey right now for the FIFA Club World Cup. And it was, my phone said it was 88 degrees at kickoff for FC Porto and Al Ahly, the Egyptian champions. And that's not what it felt like. It felt a lot hotter. And that was a 9 p.m. kickoff. So in Houston, the heat's a little different in Houston, but it's hotter. You really saw that affect both teams, but more so, I think, Canada in that game. So the heat will play a factor again. They rotated a lot. And, we often have this debate, and I know you guys have it in hockey in Edmonton especially. What is the value of coaching? How valuable is the man behind the bench or the man in the dugout, and really can they affect the match? I think this is proof that absolutely there is. It's a tremendous factor because the leaps that Canada has made since Jesse Marsh arrived last May, you can see when he hasn't been there and when he wasn't there previously in the transition between John Herdman and him, that it's a very different side. So that's not me taking a shot at Mauro Biello, but I don't think he managed the game very well. It seemed like they jumbled their substitutions. They got out-coached, and the difference between Curacao and Honduras or El Salvador, which we'll see tonight, is Dick Advocaat is an incredible thinker, as most Dutch managers are. But anyone in the game that survives to work into their mid-70s, there's something special about them. And that Curacao is a side that are far better than their 90th world ranking. So there's just a few factors that didn't work out for Canada, but I do think that they're in the driver's seat tonight. And
we're with Brendan Dunlop, CanadianSoccerDaily.com. Brendan, for this match tonight, you talked about the rotation. How strong of an 11 do you think Jesse Marsh is going to throw out there tonight?
I still think it'll be pretty strong. Stefan Eustáquio was his side FC Porto were eliminated from the Club World Cup last night. He will not be in the lineup tonight, but he should be rejoining the team. And I do think that we might see some tinkering on the back line again. One of the players that I would like to see back in the squad is Luc de Fougerolles, 18-year-old, 19-year-old center back. He's not even a professional yet. He's playing on the reserve team at Fulham. And when he's pulled on that Canada shirt, he looks incredible. He's big, he's strong, he looks smart, he looks like a real veteran international, not a young, inexperienced player whatsoever. And I think at center back, as opposed to Kamal Miller, who has considerably more playing experience, I think Canada's better off with the Fougerolles. So that's someone I expect to play a big role. And then I do wonder if there's going to be some fullback rotation. They're a little light in midfield as well. I'd really like to see Ishmael Kone step up in midfield. I think he's due for a big game. I think he needs one for his confidence as well. So all in all, it's going to be a battle against Honduras. It's going to be, against El Salvador. It's going to be gritty. But I do like Canada's chances.
From the World Cup a few years ago, there's quite a bit of changes to this lineup, and including some new faces from the Canadian Shield out in Toronto from a few weeks ago through the first couple of matches of this Canadian match. Who's kind of been the best new faces for you on this Canadian side?
There's two guys that I think are incredible. There's two guys that I would call 2026 marketing billboard faces that should be on the posters everywhere you see, next to Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David. And those two guys are Promise David and Nico Seeger. Both of those guys are exceptional. And Nico Seeger, I said this on Northern Football, the podcast I do with Ben Steiner and Alex Kange-Ruzik, that to me, Nico Seeger, albeit inexperienced, he is in Alphonso Davies' territory in the sense that you can get max efficiency out of him outside of his natural position. He's not a right back. He's a defensive midfielder. He is Stefan Eustáquio. But you have Stefan Eustáquio to get Nico Seeger on the pitch. Unfortunately, we've been able to use him at right back as cover for Alistair Johnson, who was injured and now has returned, the Celtic right back. But Nico Seeger, to me, has all the qualities of a future captain. Much the same way we used to talk about Stefan Eustáquio when he first broke through and was discovered playing in Mexico, Cruz Azul. Nico Seeger, to me, looks excellent. And we did see a Canadian Shield Promise David score. I think that they've just kind of been managing him. He had a long season. They won the title in Belgium with Union Saint-Gilloise, which is a real surprise. But he's someone that can really, really score. So I genuinely think that Promise David is pushing Kyle Larin for a starting spot in 2026, and Laren's, at one point was Canada's men's national team's all-time leading scorer, and has been a great duo with Jonathan David. But I really think the Promise David can come on, and this summer is an audition to perhaps steal a starting spot for next summer at the World Cup.
Brendan Dunlop joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I got one more for you here. You mentioned it earlier right off the top, but Team Canada was fined, but head coach Jesse Marsh cleared of any wrongdoing after the CONCACAF investigation. Just quickly walk us through this investigation and what you think this means now that the Canadian men's national team can put this behind them.
Yeah, it's great that they can put it behind them. I mean, there is a part here where I think that the Confederation was trying to send a message that, look, they're not going to be toyed around with. And, Jesse Marsh has been very vocal about how things haven't been fair towards Canada. And that's been the case for 3 decades. That's not any different. But he's been the most vocal about it. And perhaps at a time in which things are not, I won't say as fair, but things have improved tremendously. Sometimes I think speaking with the animosity and the frustration of a build over the last few years and or decades even, and that comes from his players. But there's a lot of things that certainly happen within the Canada Soccer as an organization that are so much better. And he's just felt that Canada soccer hasn't been treated fairly over the years by CONCACAF, and that's been true. This scenario was very strange. He was banned for 2 games for having been given a red card in the Nations League in a 3rd place win over the United States. Then at BC Place, he was supposedly escorted to a private suite, a box at BC Place where he could watch the match by a CONCACAF official. And then shortly after, another CONCACAF official, perhaps the original one, had come there to tell him that he was in the wrong place and he was in violation. So some words were exchanged. We don't know what those words were, but supposedly that's why an investigation was open. But in the end, no further punishment beyond what was described as a small fine for Canada Soccer, and we can put that behind us. And I think you'll see a big difference with Jesse Marsh back on the touchline, because they really are playing for him. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but this team would run through a wall for Jesse Marsh, and that starts tonight with his first ever Gold Cup game.
Well, hopefully that propels the good side tonight, the Canadian side, to a victory. Brendan, thank you for joining us today on the Reid Wilkins Show.
Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the game.
That was Brendan Dunlop of CanadianSoccerDaily.com, as well as the Northern Football Podcast. If you want to hear more about Canadian men's soccer, I would suggest following both of those, as he seems to be quite a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Brendan Dunlop's been following he's been on sports. He's been on TSN, I think, a little bit, or TSN 1050. He's been all over the place doing a lot of great stuff covering soccer in general, and also our national teams, both men's and women. So a great resource. And it's, what's funny about this team too for me is I've talked about with Eric. I've talked about her and off air. Like, this would have been unbelievable, like ridiculous to have said a couple of years ago. But it's almost like this team doesn't need Alphonso Davies. Like, he's our boy. He's our guy. He's Edmonton's. He's the best player that Canada has in terms of talent. But we have so many other players now that, like, honestly, there is no Alphonso Davies. And it's like, it's not as big of a deal as it might have been. Even going into 22, it would have been a big deal. But there's just so many players across the board that it's great to see. The one thing I will say is that when Alphonso Davies does come back to the Canadian side, once he gets healthy, he's got to stop trying to be the guy. Sometimes he does a little too much and tries to be the guy and go score the goal and deke past everyone. Now, trust the players around you. You've got a lot of great players around you. Spread the ball out and things will be fine. But he tries to beat people one-on-one, and he's not always the best at that one. But yeah, it's crazy to think that this team's actually we're still very good as a national team without Alphonso Davies.
Well, a major takeaway for me was just how much these players respond to their head coach, Jesse Marsh. I mean, Brendan at one point said they'd run through a brick wall for him. I'm just going over at Play Alberta here, but if you think, Team Canada might respond with an offensive outburst, in celebration of their coach rejoining them on the sideline, you can get over 3.5 goals right now at plus 140. That's total. That's not just Canada. That's total goals. So who knows? Maybe they'll take this and ignite a bit of a fire under them to get the job done and win that group. That was nice having Brendan Dunlop on. Once again, he is from CanadianSoccerDaily.com, as well as the Northern Football Podcast. Check him out there if you want to hear more about the Canadian men's national team, as well as obviously soccer from around the world. Up next, we will have the Oil Understood, presented by GCL Diesel. We will take a look at some options, at some scenarios, I guess you can say, because the discussion around the Edmonton Oilers is what's going to happen with Evander Kane, what's going to happen with Victor Arvidsson. Matt's thrown another name into the hat in Adam Henrique. We're going to look at all the possibilities. Where does this leave the team in terms and in respect to their cap situation? We're going to get to all that after. But first, a sports update by the one and only Zachary Kubish.
According to the fourth period's Dave Pagnotta, Tampa Bay's Cam Atkinson will test free agency as an unrestricted free agent. Meanwhile, the Hockey Hall of Fame announced this year's inductions, including three-time Cup champ Duncan Keith, Stars legend Joe Thornton, former Sabre Alex McGillney, and longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara. Staying in hockey, Matt Martin has announced his retirement from the NHL after playing nearly 1,000 games, split between the Leafs and the Islanders. For the Jays, they open a 3-game series against the Guardians. Eric Lauer takes them out for the Jays. First pitch at 4:40. And ESPN's Shams Charania has reported that the Pelicans are trading for Washington's CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-rounder in exchange for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and a 40th overall pick in tomorrow's draft. Out in Victoria, the Riverhawks challenge the Harbor Cats. Catch the action on any of USC's audio streams. First pitch just after 7:30. While down in Texas, Canada meets El Salvador in Gold Cup action. They hit the pitch at 8 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need to get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-460-5014. The oil understood for GCL Diesel is what brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button right now, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports.
I think the forward depth has to improve. They don't have as much depth in the forward group as they need to get to the promised land. More speed, a little more size, that's where they got to get to. There's lots of different ways to do that, and I think there's opportunities to explore that you can improve in that area and help McDavid and Draisaitl.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Hosting the Big Canada Day Bash? Make room for the celebration with Sentinel Storage. From decluttering the garage, storing your seasonal gear, and keeping your treasures safe, we've got the space so you can enjoy the day and every day. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. Zachary Kubish behind the camera, doing all the little details, doing all the hard work. And with that, young man, you get to do the dishes later.
What?
You said it.
You said it.
I'm holding you to that one.
Yeah, I'm holding. We have to hold you to that.
So, again, for those that missed it earlier, today was ice cream. We're trying different frozen treats, although Jay can't try one of them. I do still feel bad. But I brought in a gelato, ended up getting Haagen-Dazs ice cream as well. Jay brought in drumsticks.
Yeah.
Zach was supposed to bring something, but he didn't. And then before we come on air, he yells, "Oh, don't worry, guys. I'll do the dishes." And I immediately was like, "Kate, you said it.
Why not?"
Well, Gager's already washing.
No, not those. He's washed all that.
No, you're going to
That's
wash
all
the
clean.
ice cream dishes.
We've got the ice cream dishes coming. You're washing those.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. What can I say? I get ice cream and then I wash 3 dishes
Coop.
and 3 spoons.
You're one of a
4
kind.
spoons.
4.
We need to do the pistachio one. We're going to need a different spoon so we don't cross-contaminate. I will say this about the new place that we're going to.
Yeah.
I actually had to go stop there last week before I went home because I needed to look at this quickly. The sink is so much better.
Is it?
This sink, do you know how like you can't get the water across the whole sink?
Yeah.
It just shoots in one spot.
Does this have a movable head?
It's got a, I think it comes out. Yeah, it comes out. It's got, and the spray's not the best.
Who cares? As
But
long
it
as
comes
it can
out,
move.
and we could get the whole sink wet.
That's what we need.
There's also a dishwasher.
Ooh.
Which you...
Not a big dishwasher guy.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
at
I'll
home.
be there. I am the
Even
dishwasher.
at home. We rarely use the dishwasher.
I like washing dishes. I hate drying dishes.
I love washing the dishes and looking out the window. Now, there's no window to look out at the new place, so dishwasher it is.
There's no window to look out here
in the
either.
kitchen.
Not
I know.
here
I
either.
mean at home.
Oh,
I mean at home. A reminder that EST is presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery instants, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $20 and using the code EST Casino, or you can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $20 and using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense. Maddie, it is time for the oil, understood? Brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine components experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta area for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Take it away, Maddie.
So you wanted to talk about the idea of Evander Kane and Victor Arvidsson not being on the Edmonton Oilers roster this year.
Yeah.
And then I took it, like, and some people are saying Adam Henrique not on the Edmonton Oilers roster this year. So I went on Puckpedia. I think I've done this right. Eventually Zach will show up. I have the forward groups here. So I signed Evan Bouchard to a $10 million contract. I signed Trent Frederick to a $4 million contract. That is kind of what is being rumored. Like, the Oilers are going to have Evan Bouchard like that. I haven't signed anyone else. I've taken Evander Kane, I have taken Adam Henrique, and I have taken Victor Arvidsson off of the Oilers roster.
Okay.
And this is what the forward group that Puckpedia has up there for you. So there's McDavid, Nuge, Hyman, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Frederick, Janmark, Max Jones, and David Tomasek. Is that everyone? Is there anyone on there? Because I did this again for my computer. Am I missing anyone, or is that everyone that I just listed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, okay. Defenseman, Ekholm, Nurse, Wollman, Emberson, Bouchard, Kulak, Stetcher. That's who I have listed, and Skinner and Pickard. This roster that you see there, which still has, you need 3 guys signed to get to 12 forwards in itself. Only $10 million is your cap space. That's if you get if you're clearing yourself off of the Evander Kane, Adam Henrique, Victor Arvidsson deals. That's not taking into account what comes in. That's just getting them off the books. It's not taking into account what trades you have, what players that you've brought in that sense. It's also, I think the one thing that this is showing, and just a reminder for the Connor McDavid contract, it doesn't impact next season. He's going to sign. But when he signs, he still has to play one more year at $12.5 million. So Connor McDavid's contract extension, when that gets signed, does not impact next season and doesn't impact the cap. So just want to get that one out there. But for $10 million, how do you go out there? Is that enough to go fill out that forward group? And that doesn't even take into account, the question is, how do you go approach goaltending then? Because back to our Oil Understood yesterday that you talked about, Jay, you look at Skinner and Pickard and go, it's 3.6 for the 2 goalies going into next year. Well, if you get rid of one of them, and you, like, let's say Calvin Pickard goes, I'm going to add this to a trade right now, and I'm going to go Thatcher Demko. You're going to have money retained. Are the Vancouver Canucks really going to retain salary?
I think whatever they do, there's going to have to be retention involved from the other side.
But no matter what, so his contract is $5 million. So let's say it's they retain half, which I highly doubt they would do. The Edmonton Oilers are now adding $1.5 million in that trade. So now I've added Thatcher Demko in replace of Calvin Pickard, and the Edmonton Oilers have $8.5 million, and they still have to go fill out that forward group.
Okay.
And that's going to require the Vancouver Canucks to eat out. So like I could do this with John Gibson. I could do it in a lot of places. But how do you go out and who do you go replace in Evander Kane and a Victor Arvidsson with? And this doesn't even take into account Connor Brown or Corey Perry possibly re-signing.
Well, that's probably the next progression here is looking, because here's the main thing. 2 of the 3 players you said would, potentially not be here have no movement clauses in Victor Arvidsson and Adam Henrique, right? So they would have to waive those clauses in order to be moved,
which Victor Arvidsson is willing to do by all accounts.
By all accounts,
and the team are ready for a fresh start.
I have not heard anything about Adam Henrique.
No, but there's
I
a lot
know
of people
that people may
should
say
be coming back.
Right, but that doesn't mean he's not. I mean, if he says no, I mean, don't forget he moved his family here. They bought a house here. Like, I really do not see Adam Henrique going anywhere. So let's say, okay, Victor Arvidsson moves along. The Evander Kane question that I brought up again is, what are you getting in return? Is that just a salary dump? And then in what case, what are you bringing back? But that, those are hard questions to answer. So looking at your list there, but you still have, as far as UFAs, you got Corey Perry, Jeff Skinner, Connor Brown, Kasperi Kapanen, Trent Frederick. Now, I know you included Trent Frederick as somebody you signed.
Because that was the most legit report we have seen. That has come from Frank Saravalli, that it's going to come in around the 4. That's why I put that one there. But there have been rumblings Connor Brown's going to get around the $2 million range, maybe a little less.
Okay.
But around $2 million.
Corey Perry at $1 million. You re-signing him?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so now you add Connor Brown, you add Corey Perry to this.
So what's that? $3.5 million. Kapanen's the question mark here.
Okay, so we're talking about another $4.2 million to add those guys onto the roster.
What I looked at, what has been kind of speculated for Kasperi Kapanen is a 1-year, roughly $1 million deal. Okay, Kasperi Kapanen played 57 regular season games. He had 5 goals and 13 points in 57 regular season games. Now, I understand you're not necessarily bringing him in to be a goal scorer. And recency bias, 3 goals, 6 points in 12 playoff games, plus an overtime winner that moved the Oilers on to the next series. So yes, you have those positive instances of recent, but is Kasperi Kapanen worth $1 million? Is Kasperi Kapanen somebody that the Oilers should re-sign? Given they're in a lot of trouble here unless they move out some significant dollar value. Wow. Now, Stan Bowman also said that he's very happy with the decor because the only person that you could really say, okay, at Matthias Ekholm, $6 million.
The difference to this, there is one way around this where you're also going to have to buy into youth. Because Bronco Nick did say add Philp and Savoy into this as well. Okay, and I don't know what I would add them for. Bronco Nick, what should I put them in for contract values?
For who?
I'll wait for him.
Brown
for Philp and Kemp, or Philp and Savoy. Do I have Savoy here? Where's Savoy on this? Sometimes I just can't figure out Puckpedia. Okay, I'm going to call up Matt Savoy. So what am I adding up Philp for? Same, let's say 900,000. Like, because it'd be closer to like 886 or something. But I'm just going to go. Let's go 886. Okay, so I've done this for a forward group, and this is where, to a degree, you're banking on the same team, but also youth. I've got McDavid, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Frederick, Janmark, Jones, Kapanen, Tomasek, Perry, Brown, and Savoy, all signed. I have Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Kulak, Wallman, Stetcher, Emberson. Am I missing someone here? Oh, Philp. I didn't do the right person. Or where is he? No, Philp, I got to add. That's the guy I have to add. So again, 886. I'm going to sign him. He's on my roster. I still got $3 million in cap space.
And you've not addressed nothing.
I brought in Thatcher Demko.
Okay,
but now that doesn't take into account other players like Demko. I had Demko for Calvin Pickard straight up, but maybe that's an Evander Kane deal. Maybe he's involved with that in some way, shape, or form, or something.
You think the Oilers would trade Evander Kane?
If I would
in
trade
division,
if I'm getting Thatcher Demko, 100%. I'm
what
making
makes
that
you
trade.
so high on Thatcher Demko, who's had issues, health issues, chronic knee issues?
So as Evander Kane has had some health issues.
Not chronic. Thatcher Demko is a major wild card, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that. But if you're telling me it's for Evander Kane, I'm doing it. I think that's a price I'm willing to pay if I'm the Edmonton Oilers. Because the one thing is, if Thatcher Demko is healthy, he's a top 5 goalie in the National Hockey League. Straight up, he's a top 5 goalie in the National Hockey League.
That is a... Really? You...
When healthy, Thatcher Demko is the top 5 goalie in the NHL, easily.
I know, it's just so hard to ignore
you're 100% right on that. But that's why if the Canucks were saying the price is Evander Kane, I'm willing to do that one. Because you also have a little bit of, you never know with Evander Kane health-wise.
Hit us up in the nasty chat. Tell us what you think, or send us a note in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. This is the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. KR says Savoy needs to step up on his entry-level deal.
And that's the point. There is a way for the Oilers to get money, but it's going to require youth to step up. Again, it's going to require a Max Jones.
Yeah, but
it's going to require a Matt Savoy. It's going to. I agree. But that's how you can go get it. Noah Philp. It's going to require them to take major steps forwards and to contribute to this team. And then, here's where they have to contribute. They have to get you to the trade deadline. That's it. The Oilers have to just get to a trade deadline.
That's what we said this year.
And they went and made some moves, and it's helped them out to a degree. Like Jake Wallman helped them out.
Jake Wallman did.
Trent Frederick did not, but maybe if Trent Frederick helps them next year.
What do you think? Because I don't think we've been on a show together to discuss Trent Frederick and this.
We did hang out.
Potential. Yeah, okay. What do you think about all this?
I don't like the 8 years.
I don't like any of it.
I think it's the same thing. It's the same with I don't know what he is healthy with the Edmonton Oilers.
But that was, I think, a reason why they moved him and shipped him out of Boston was because he was wanting a long-term deal. And I don't know what matchmakers or what odds makers put these values on these contracts, but in what world is Trent Frederick worth an 8-year contract?
It's the Edmonton Oilers doubling down almost on this.
But what if they've missed the mark? I'm not. Hey, look.
Then they've done that's my point. They've gone they've done your roulette play, but they've gone even further.
Hey, look, I would like nothing more than in 4 years to be looking back, if this actually comes to fruition, which we believe it is, because it was reported by, like you said, Matt, the Frank Saravalli tweet did confirm that this is in the works. I hope Oilers fans are looking back on this in 4 years and saying, what a steal.
I agree.
At 3.75 over 8 or whatever it turns out to be. It's just like, if this is what you're putting together is the direction that this team is heading, because I got news for you. Whenever I look at Puckpedia, I just look and say the Oilers are screwed. They can't do much. I mean, sure, if you get Evander Kane off the books, that's great. There's $5.25 million.
But what
are you bringing in?
Well, I'm saying if that helps get you Thatcher Demko.
So you don't
need Thatcher Demko for 70 games next year. You don't need him for 60 games next year. You don't need him for 50 games next year. If Thatcher Demko's coming in, you need him for 40. He has 41. Stuart Skinner has 41. Boom, you're good to go. You could like Kawhi Leonard with the Toronto Raptors. You could full load management him in that one because you also still have Stuart Skinner.
So you're thinking of running a 1A, 1B with Skinner and Demko? Or who would
the price was Evander Kane for Demko and I'm getting them to eat money on Demko? Yeah, I'd do that.
Well, then you're still asking. Like I've said this about the Evander Kane deal. Okay, you get rid of him, but what are you replacing him with?
Trent Frederick.
That's a big ask.
100% it is.
And that's a big ask coming off a season that was, Evander Kane didn't even play in the regular season.
The one thing, though, is to stay good, like you also have to make some tough moves and you have to make some tough decisions. And there is some betting and there's some gambling that comes into this. I don't know what players the Florida Panthers lost last year.
Well, and most likely are about to lose as well.
Well, I don't know. Players, the transactions. Do we have the start of the year? Players lost. Like, they lost, like, not top end players, but OEL, Lundberg, Montour, Stelland, Stolarz, Tarasenko, Cousins. Like, they lost some guys throughout the summer. Like, you can't just bring everyone back. You can't just go, we're going to try this one more year and everyone comes back because it was such a fun run. Like, there are changes that are necessary. So then who is it then? If it's not going to be goaltending to a degree, and then if it's not Evander Kane, if it's not, okay, Victor Arvidsson's the one. Who then goes?
Well, and seemingly it's not defense.
Seemingly it's not defense. So who on forward goes? It's not McDavid. It's not Leon. It's not Hyman. It's not going to be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins because that guy's never going to for sure waive a no-trade clause. So then who goes? How do you fix this team?
That's a very important question.
And that's where I feel like to a degree, some of this is going to come down to, like, Kane ultimately is the one that has to go because you have a modified no move clause. He doesn't have a full say in where he's going. And there's some money off the books.
What about Janmark? He's also got a modified no trade clause. I mean, he's only coming in at a 1.45 hit.
Because you're not getting any real savings.
Yeah.
And number two, Evander Kane is going to get you more value. You can't just sell players.
Do you think he's going to get you
he'd have more value than I think a Janmark.
I know. So if he has that value, why not keep him here and try?
Because sometimes to get something, you sometimes have to give something. But also, and something in this case for Evander Kane, it's the cap. It's cap space. The Oilers need to get through 1 year. And then I think things will open up pretty decently for them, although they will have to sign some goaltenders. That's a Jack. I hate that. I hate buyouts. Just hate buyouts. Seeing Jack Campbell onto the books for 4 or 5 years still. Just hate it.
What do you think Connor Brown gets? I mean, right now, he's only at a cap hit of $1 million.
Well,
so
the rumors are like 1.8 to 2.2, somewhere in that range.
Over? What type of term would that be?
The rumor's 4.
So there, you're another almost $1 million into your number if they go out and sign Connor Brown.
This is why, like, hey, you want to... I brought this up on the Hangout.
To me, somebody like Connor Brown is expendable, 100%.
I 100% agree. Here's where it's... I ponder this out there just because it's also like, is this a selling on a high? Well, but it doesn't work. I was going to say injured. This doesn't. But is Matthias Ekholm $6 million UFA after this year? Is that a guy that you can maybe go get something for?
Watkins Campbell's cat in the nasty chat. Patrick Demko has issues not like Stuart Skinner issues. I'd flip Kane for him in a heartbeat. You're crazy if you didn't. Lots of discussion. Look, there's no question. There's some fendangling that's going to have to happen here with Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson leading up to July 1st. And after that...
Yeah, there'll be some clarity in this by the end of next week.
There has to be.
Well, that's the thing. It was like that's the one good thing about a long Stanley Cup run is we don't have to talk about this for 3 months.
Yeah, you're up against it right away. Okay, as we are up against the break, coming up after the break, it's going to be crunching the numbers presented by Gallo LLP. We will look at exactly how much money was brought into the great city of Edmonton from the 2025 playoff run. That's up next on Edmonton Sports Talk. You're listening to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matt Iwanyk. Coob, you're up.
MLB action has 2 games live. The Jays and Guardians. In the top of the first, it's runless. 0 outs for Toronto, having Ernie Clement at bat and a runner on first base. Meanwhile, the Rangers and Orioles are locked at zeros early in the game, while the Braves and Mets are just warming up. Out west, Edmonton is on the road in Victoria. The Riverhawks facing the Harbor Cats. Listen to the full game on any of EST's audio streams, with that one starting just after 7:30. In this year's Hockey Hall of Fame inductees were announced. Longtime Blackhawk, former Oiler Duncan Keith elected to the Hall alongside former 70-goal scorer Alex McGillney, longtime Bruin Zdeno Chara, and Sharks legend Joe Thornton. In other news, Islanders enforcer Matt Martin has announced his retirement. He played nearly 1,000 games in the league, while Dave Pagnotta of the fourth period has reported that Cam Atkinson of the Lightning will test free agency as an unrestricted free agent. Down in Houston, it's Canada and El Salvador duking it out in CONCACAF Gold Cup action. They hit the pitch at 8 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. We take a dive into how much the Oilers really made during the playoff run on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Hangout.
It's that deep-rooted confidence that you are capable of doing something, and so failure isn't a big deal.
Changing the plan.
Failing is just learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be honest with you guys, probably most wisdom imparted on this show in a long time.
Especially when you look at how we started, right?
Started being sus, and then, The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Here we go. Football is back at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth. Cheer on your green and gold as we kick off the excitement with the ultimate celebration of the game we love. Thursday, June 19th, Edmonton versus Montreal. A huge home opener with the Super Dogs halftime show. Plus the debut of our new in-house band, brand new food items, and to celebrate every Double E touchdown, the return of an old favorite. Get your home opener tickets now at GoElks.com. Game day sponsored by Edmonton International Airport. Go Elks!
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Here's to the beautiful lakes and stunning landscapes Canada has to offer. And for the kayak, camping gear, and summer toys you used to enjoy them? Need extra space? Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Happy Canada Day.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click.
That is the, what are we calling that? The dark click remix?
The lo-fi click remix.
Lo-fi click remix. Folks, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We could use some clicks. Give us some clicks for guest Guy Flaming coming up at 5 o'clock. And the much anticipated, must watch, must listen to ice cream debate coming up for buying or selling, presented by Damon.
Nervous about it.
Damon Bunting Real Estate at 5:20. Let's get to the word of the day. We're almost at 100. We got to get to 130, so we can do it. We're on pace. We can do it. Show this curmudgeon sitting beside me, Matthew Iwanyk, that We can overcome.
85 likes, not happening.
When people doubt us, we stand up. We do what we need to do. You know what we need? We need a couple limericks. We need a couple limericks to brighten the spirits here with Matthew Iwanyk. This comes in from Bronco Nick. Ice cream / gelato fiasco was a crisis averted. Oilers fans wanting a goalie. Don't be perverted. We wait and see what we draft in round 3 and spend July 1 watching the ticker focus diverted. Not bad. Not bad.
That's Canada Day next Tuesday. Incredible.
Another limerick here from VR Montenegro, who today is going by VR Montenegro. What is your favorite frozen treat? Make an assertion. Unfortunately, Coob committed desertion. From what I've been shown, prepare for mind blown. A popsicle is a freezy with a stick insertion. That is a great point.
No, it's not.
That is a great point.
It's not. They don't melt the same way.
You might have that. I'm just not a popsicle guy.
Freezy versus
being popsicle. A popsicle, you know, I just don't. Popsicles seem like something great for the younger kids. Popsicle
there's just something about it coming
mind.
Out of the plastic tubing that I think adds to it. And then you get the juice
Can
afterwards.
You cut that,
drink.
please?
And then you could drink it after the little bit that.
Yes.
It's not the same. They're probably the ingredients are probably all the same, but they're different. They're mightily different still.
I don't know if they're mightily different, Maddie.
It's that the delivery of it, of how you consume it. It's a big deal.
It is time to get to crunching the numbers, presented by Gallo LLP, chartered professional accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help you grow your business. Visit their website, gallollp.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. I just had the pleasure of going and seeing Preet over at Gallo LLP at their Sherwood Park office today. They were kind enough to do what, Maddie?
Yeah, they gave us a beautiful pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses as
Ray-Bans.
a gift for the EST Golf Classic presented by Play Alberta, which will go 2 weeks today.
And you can register for the EST Golf Tournament at... Oh, wait. It's sold out.
Heads up, I don't think I haven't even talked about this with Dusty. We'll be on the air from 6 until 8 that morning. There will not be any other
6
program.
till 8 p.m.
No,
that's going to be a long day.
6 to 8 a.m.
A.m.
Because you guys are all going to be golfing. And the only thing I have said, I actually haven't told anyone this yet. There's an email coming to staff tonight, tomorrow. Hernan, Benny, and I will be on deck should something happen with McDavid.
Oh.
Should he sign, we'll jump on the air.
Ready to roll the tape.
We'll go live from the ranch. But beyond that, just a heads up, in 2 weeks, I think right now that there won't be.
That's 2 weeks from today.
I know.
I'm excited.
I'm very aware.
Found out a few.
2 weeks from today at 4:53, I'll be either a very angry man or a very happy man.
Why would you be angry?
Because things didn't go well.
Oh, stop. Hush, puppy. It's going to be just fine, man.
Or 4:53, I'll be very ecstatic, very happy.
That's a great day.
Going home right at that about that time. Maybe.
I get to see your mom and dad and your brother Michael.
He's a maybe.
What?
Just had a kid.
Oh, yeah. Congrats, Michael.
I don't know if that's supposed to be full public knowledge.
No, congrats, Michael.
Been a week though. But yeah, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, so Gallo LLP giving us a wonderful prize, which will. Well, yeah, all that's coming for the golfers then in it. You'll be getting an email from me as well in the coming days. For crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. We got two things we're going to get to, but let's start with some Canadian Football League. I was down at Commonwealth Stadium today watching Elks practice for a little bit today, which was nice. I never get, because they always practice, it usually starts during the hangout, and by the time it ends, like I have to wrap up other things here. I don't get to go to Elks practice as much. You've been going a little bit more, which is great. It was nice to be there. It was nice just sitting in the sun, watching practice. We'd love to go. Actually, I'd love to be there with you.
Yeah.
To understand what sometimes things are going on, because you know what it's like.
It's boring. It's
okay, I'm
outright
glad you
boring.
said it. There's not a lot of excitement.
No.
I did get to see a little bit of scrimmage kind of type thing between offense and defense. That's fun. But like, what are they working on? What are they doing here? It's become fun to go with a fellow alum of the U of A.
Oh yeah, right. Us Bears.
And you could show me what's happening though, and explain that a little better.
Timing, execution. That's especially at that level. I mean, were they even in pads?
No.
I mean, you're not. A professional football player takes enough abuse during the one game a week they play. Sometimes on a shortened week, that happens faster. But it's timing and execution. That is the major parts. Maybe a little bit of, you're introducing a new, I guess, addition to a play or a package. But it's all about execution, timing, and timing.
Justin Rankin, though, in week 3 against Montreal, you wanted them to run the ball more. He got the ball 12 times, 76 yards. In week 3, he led the CFL in missed tackles forced. He forced 7 Owls to miss him in that game last Thursday. Good. He also ranked second in rushing first downs with 5 in yards after contact, 64. And that's a good defense that he was up against. He had 64 yards after first contact of his 76.
That's
in that
impressive.
Game. And so to me, looking at those numbers, it tells me one thing. Going into last week, it was run the ball. Going, I think, into this week, it's continued to run the ball. Keep giving Rankin the ball. Keep feeding Rankin, because he's a guy that when he has the ball, he makes things happen. And there's the thing. 7 missed tackles forced and 64 yards after contact. First contact against the Montreal Alouettes last week.
Now, that's fantastic. That's great. I agree. Run the ball. But you're going to be without David Beard. You're going to be without David Beard for the next while.
Cordy did practice full today. He was listed as available once the injury report finished up today. Depth chart will come out tomorrow.
So you saw that made quite a difference not having Brett Boyko in the lineup in week 1.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see the depth chart tomorrow as to who fills in that role.
But I will then ask
right
you
guard.
this, and you never played the position, so it might be a little more difficult for you to answer. What is more important? What is easier to mask, a guard or a tackle loss?
Guard. No question.
And I think the thing too in that is, and the reason I don't say center in that, is because you're replacing a center with a center.
Yeah.
Mark Cordy sliding back over to center where he's played that way the majority of his career. You're not worried about that. So it's Evans coming in that left guard spot versus that right tackle spot. You're also not going against Metu Betts on the other side.
Well, and if it is Evans moving into that right guard spot,
pretty good defense for them.
He is, you look at Brett Boyko who's 6'7". You look at Evans who's 6'2". He is more suited to be a guard. That was a harder task for him to move out to the tackle position as it is for him to slide into the guard. The further you move away from the center, the more on an island and isolated you are, even in the run game. Okay? So I think they can overcome the loss of David Beard. It is a massive loss, though.
It is, but I sit there and think I'm Mark Carney. Like, that's the one thing, like that to have 2 centers on your roster, I'm actually good with it, because it's not like Cordy is going to forget how to play center. So it's not a tackle that's being lost here, that we saw the struggles for this one. So I'm not as worried about that one going into Thursday.
Matt, now we should we do this now, or should we get to, because we got Guy coming up at 5?
Yeah, we got a couple minutes here. I think I don't think we'll get to this later.
Okay.
Because we got to get to the ice cream.
Yeah, that might be 2 segments, bro.
We got to fit it. We'll get to that first as well. Explore Edmonton announcing today that the Edmonton Oilers playoff run was brought $266.7 million of an economic impact to the city of Edmonton. It included 80,000 overnight stays, as well as guest spending on transportation and food. It also looked at the impact of wages for locals who work and earn more in the playoffs. They estimated in the 2024 playoffs, they impacted $280 million.
I'm always intrigued by
this
these
year's
numbers.
per game impact was higher because there were 3 fewer games in this run than that one.
I always want to know how did. No, I'm not. Hey, that's great. That's great for the city if that has impacted businesses and especially those in the service industry. That's very nice to hear. I always wonder how they get these numbers. How do you know that it impacted it and it had an injection of $266.7 million?
What I know of these, and I do find when these ones come out, I always give it an eyebrow look.
Yeah,
because I remember talking to Dave Jameson about this, and you get it after every Grey Cup. There's the Grey Cup brings $80 million of economic impact over the week to the city, and there was a big story within All-Star games in baseball and basketball from a few years ago. I remember, and they're like, "Oh, losing this All-Star game is going to cost them X amount." And it has come out though that these things are usually it's not that high. Was there an economic impact?
Has to be
for this. Absolutely. Was it $266 million? Probably not.
I guess we'll never know.
Because I got to see if I can quickly find the article here. I was reading one from the Denver Post when they were having this discussion. It was an article from 2021 earlier today. And they even talked about the replacement. That money was... The out-of-towner is one thing. But when it's the substitution effect for locals, you're just... Instead of spending it in, where you were planning on spending it, you spent it in a bar or something, or with the Edmonton Oilers.
Right.
That it's still the exact same amount of spending that was happening. It's the out-of-towners that you're looking at. And then you have to take into account, okay, well, if there was no playoff run, how many people would still be coming to town, and what's the balancing act to it? So I like to look at those and go, I don't believe those are as high as they say they are. But it's always fun to say that, $250 million was pumped into our economy over the last 2 months.
Not a bad thing. We've got to get out. We've got Guy Flaming coming up, who is going to answer all... Right, Matt? Every one of the draft questions that we have, maybe even a couple that you nasties have asked. So that's coming up after the 5 o'clock break. But first, the Cubinator.
2 guys and a goalie.
The Oilers might be interested in bringing Kapanen back. And the Oilers are going to talk to Connor Brown. And the Oilers are going to bring back Corey Perry. So over or under for number crunchers today, 1.5. Perry, Kapanen, and Brown returning.
In a perfect world, I would take the under and just say Corey Perry. I do have time for Connor Brown. The Kapanen thing, I don't care for, personally.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Live in the top of the second, the Jays lead the Guardians 2-0 in their series opener. 0 outs for Toronto. Jonathan Clausse at bat for the Jays. Logan Allen pitching for Cleveland. One other game is live. Orioles and Rangers locked at zeros in the second as well, with the Braves and Mets warming up and the Yankees and Reds just about to get underway. And according to the fourth period's Dave Pagnotta, Tampa Bay's Cam Atkinson will test free agency as an unrestricted free agent. Meanwhile, the Hockey Hall of Fame announced this year's inductions, including three-time Cup champ Duncan Keith, Sharks legend Joe Thornton, former Sabre Alex McGillney, and longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara. Staying in hockey, Matt Martin has announced his retirement from the NHL. He played nearly 1,000 games split between the Leafs and the Islanders. And out in Victoria, the Riverhawks challenge the Harbour Cats to catch the action on any of EST's audio streams. First pitch just after 7:30. While down in Texas, Canada meets El Salvador in Gold Cup action. They hit the pitch at 8 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk. You are listening to Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Before we get to very, very special guest, Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show, which, by the way, airs on Monday evenings as well as Saturday afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Maddie, did you hear? Now, this might surprise some of you, but our dearest Matthew Iwanyk is, what would you call yourself? A guar head? A guarite?
No, I don't have an official title. I like guar. Are they coming?
Guar has announced a tour in honor of their of celebrating 40 years in the business with the return of Gore Tour. Guar will be in Edmonton November 1st.
No way!
With Helmet, the Dwarves, and everybody's favorite, Blood Vulture. I thought you'd be excited
Look
about
at that. They're going to go to Fan Park at Ice District. It's right outside my house.
So are you going to go?
Yes.
What is
I have said I will always go see Guar as long as they come and I'm in the same city and I know about it.
What is it about
Guar?
Jeez,
I might not be going at these prices. $100?
I don't know. I've never been to a Guar show. What's the going rate?
I don't think it's $100.
Well, that's a pretty intimate place.
$20 for fees.
Well, that's not Guar's problem. Now, what is Guar?
Ticket.
What kind of music is Guar?
It's metal. It's metal. It's not great metal.
You don't strike me as a metal guy. I'm sorry.
I love listening to metal.
Do you?
I'll listen to screamo metal.
Really?
I have no problem with it.
Cool. Would you get a load of this guy?
We went to Guar together.
Yeah, he took me to Guar, him and LTE.
You going to take him this time?
Well, not at $100. Here's Guar Sick of You. This is probably their most known song.
All right. Don't want to get kicked off of YouTube here. Guar. Okay. I've never heard that. What do? They throw paint on you or slime?
No, it's blood and other things that gets
blood.
It's just sprayed on you. They will decapitate the president of the United States.
Hula Boy Steve in the Nasty Chat says, were Chara, Keith, and Thornton first ballot? Yes, they were. Obviously, the NHL Hall of Fame inductees today were announced. Alexander McGillney finally got in. He was eligible since 2009. Joe Thornton, Duncan Keith, Zdeno Chara, Jennifer Botterill, and Brianna Decker as players.
It's a good thing there's no fired up today because I could get fired up at the Hall of Fames.
Oh, I bet you could get fired up about a lot of things. As well, Jack Parker and Danielle Savageau.
Yeah, not Jackie Parker of the Double E.
No, Jack Parker, that of 40 years head coaching with the Boston University Terriers. 80 years old. His record as a head coach is 897, 472, and 115. That, my friend, is impressive. You know who's impressive? Is our next guest. Our next guest is the man of the hour. It is Guy Flaming, the host of the Pipeline Show. As I mentioned, the Pipeline Show you can catch right here on Monday evenings as well as Saturday afternoons on EST. Guy Flaming, how are you doing today?
You might be muted, Guy. Or is that going to be us? No.
Okay, we are going to work to get Guy back on. It seemed like you might be muted, Guy. It might be
our thing. While Zach tries to figure this out with Guy, can I rant quickly with Hall of Fame?
Yes.
I hate this. I hate first ballot Hall of Fames. I hate these late Hall of Fames. We have had Hall of Fames where some years, like, it's not a full class. How did Alexander McGillney, what year did you say he was first eligible?
2009.
How did his resume get better from 2009 to today?
It didn't.
Exactly.
It literally couldn't.
I think when it comes to Hall of Fames, you should get 2 years of eligibility. Max 2.
It's just a matter of what competition you're up against in that year.
I would not have a limit on how many people are going in any given year.
Well, that's foolish.
No, if you're a Hall of Famer, go in. Larry Walker was a Hall of Famer on his last year of eligibility. He should have been in sooner. Number 2, I like hockey. There was a year they did not have a single person get elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, including Larry Walker. So how did he become a Hall of Famer 5 years later? Let's just baseball ones really get me mad. But it's just one of those things for me where it's just like, are they Hall of Famer or not? I can hear Guy, so we'll be able to send Guy over right away here. But if you're a Hall of Famer, let them in. Like Alexander McGillney should have been a few years ago. But we waited and now he's in.
Guy, you've been listening to this last miniature rant by my dearest friend Matthew Iwanyk. What do you think about that?
He's correct. He's correct. Like how has his stock improved over that span of time? He should have been in a long time ago. It's kind of ridiculous.
Now, is that the case though, Guy? Is that it just depends what class is up next, and there are guys. I mean, like on this one, first ballot inductees were Joe Thornton, Duncan Keith, and Zdeno Chara.
No Carey Price, notably.
No Carey Price. That's right. Wow. Is that all it is? Is just luck of the draw at some point?
I suppose. Listen, I'm not part of the voting committee or whoever cast their ballots to put that together. It just seems like that's a guy that's probably been due for how many years now, Matty said?
Well, since 2009, yeah.
And here's the thing. I'll just add, 2016, only 3 players were elected to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so do it then. Why not?
That's my point. Like, how does it all of a sudden now he goes in? But in 2016, when we only had 3, not the 5 that we've had in many other years or the 4. Like, now like it just annoys me. Sorry.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the committee changes. Like, are you on the committee for 3 or 4 years and then there's a new group, or it kind of intermixes where there's new guys every year? So maybe it's just taken that long for whoever was against McGillney to get out of the committee.
Just got to wait them out.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It is a small group that does the Hockey Hall of Fame. I don't feel like it changes that often, though.
Like, I know Lanny McDonald was part of it.
Yeah, he used to be like the head of it. Now it's Ron Francis.
Okay.
Guy, as much as I want to talk about the Hall of Fame inductees for the entire segment, we've got more pressing matters here. Most notable, that being the NHL Draft, which is coming up Thursday night. Matthew Schaefer, consensus number 1 pick to the New York Islanders. Just how good is this 6'2" D-man out of Erie, and who would you compare his game to?
What's interesting about him is how limited his games were this year, because he started the season with mono. First, he played at the Hlinka here last August, and he was unbelievable, like easily the best player in the tournament. So he really stood out there. And then he got mono, so he missed the first, 2 months of the regular season. Then he started to play, got hurt at the World Junior Championship, broke his collarbone. So he was limited to 17 games in the OHL this year, and yet his stock went up. That's how good he is. Doesn't play, and his stock goes up. He's like the McGillney of this draft, apparently. So when it comes to what kind of a defenseman he is, I mean, the natural, you're going to talk about guys like Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar, because he's a very fluid, mobile skater, controls the pace and the tempo of the game. But he's bigger than those guys. He's like 6'1". So he's got some size to him, but he skates so well, and he seems like he plays with a maturity that you don't see with a lot of 18-year-olds. So I will not be surprised at all that he's going to be the first player taken. My only question is if it will be the Islanders that take him or not, because it seems like there's a lot of interest and they might want to trade back and gain some more assets. So I have a bigger question on who's going to make that pick than who's going to be the pick.
Overall, this is a question that I think a lot of people have going to the draft, every draft, and I don't know a lot about the draft this year. Sure. Is this a deep draft? Is this a draft where you might, like we know the Oilers traded up last year to get into the first round? Is this a draft that maybe depending on how things play out, teams will try to jump back in because there's just so much talent? Or is this one of those top heavy drafts? This is the first few years. How would you categorize the type of draft we're expecting to see this week?
If I was going to give it a letter grade, like it was grade school, I would say it's probably like a C or a C minus kind of draft. It's not spectacular. At the high end, it's good. But once you get to 13, 14, then you're getting into a range where the guy that goes 16 could also go 33 or something like that. So it's one of those where it really starts to open up after about the middle of the first round. And then you're just throwing darts at a board, basically.
One of our listeners, Bronco Nick, he has a question. What type of player do you think William Horkoff projects to be?
Big. I think he's more of a checking guy, maybe like your bottom six player, but he's big. And I think he's not a first round guy, in my opinion. I think he's probably a mid to late second, early third round guy. But obviously a guy with bloodlines and connection to the Edmonton Oilers for sure. So a player of interest in that regard. But I don't know how much offensive upside there is there, but I think he's a projectable NHL guy just because he's got that connection. So I think kids, offspring of professional athletes, have a built-in advantage that they, not genetically speaking, although that may be too, but just being around it, have sort of you get to follow your parents and learn from them about what it takes on and off the ice or the field. So I think there's an advantage for guys like that.
Guy, the Edmonton Oil Kings came out with their season schedule this year. Have you had a chance to review it, and have you looked at any of the what's the long road trips or what's some spots that might be an issue for this team heading forward into the next season?
I did look at it briefly today. It looks like their big road trip out to BC is, I think it was in November. So they get that kind of out of the way in the first half of the season. Lots of home games in the second half. I think they only play one game at home in September and a few more in October. I think it's a nice looking schedule for Edmonton. And I think for attendance reasons, it's nice to have a backloaded home schedule for this team as well. And on their roster right now is looking pretty good too. And I think the way that some clubs in the conference and in the league in general have started to bleed some players to the NCAA with that rule change. The Oil Kings haven't been affected by that yet, knock on wood. But they've been able to bring in some players, and they made a big trade yesterday. I think the window, when you see you have an opportunity to go for it, I think you have to pounce on it now because your window is going to be a lot shorter than it used to be. So if the Oil Kings right now are making an acquisition where they're giving up a first-round pick to get this player and Max Curran, I think they have a feeling that they might be taking a shot at this year. So that's exciting.
What kind of player is Max Curran?
Big. Offensive-minded. He's big. He's 6'3", 6'4", something like that. The Colorado Avalanche draft pick. Now they have 3 drafted Czech players. So I'm going to call them the checkmate line already. But with Adam Yeko and Miroslav Holinka, nice trio to have. And I think the Oil Kings are going to be a team to watch this year. But Curran's big. Won the Scholastic Player of the Year this year in the Western Hockey League. So that's interesting to have an import do that. I don't think that's very common. But no, I think he's going to be a nice fit.
Just back to the draft for the Edmonton Oilers. And I know you're talking to more of a top-heavy draft this year. They'll draft for the first time in the third round.
Yeah.
Is there anything is there any like late player, and this might be putting you completely on the spot, that you think like, hey, if you were around the table in the third round, like, yeah, maybe this is a guy that you should be looking at. Is there anything that you're thinking for the Oilers, or is this like, I know when you get third round or later in the NHL draft, it's often just a bit of a crapshoot. Is that just what we're looking at here? It's largely a crapshoot.
Yep. I think it really is this year. It's not one of those drafts where you're thinking there's a sleeper in the third or fourth or fifth round that you've discovered that nobody else has seen. It doesn't feel like it's that deep of a draft to me. And I know somebody asked in the nasty chat about goalies. I think there probably will be some goalies available in the third that could have a potential NHL future. I'm looking at Burke Hood out of the Vancouver Giants, who's listed at 6'3" and had good numbers this year. He should be around in the third round. And Andrei Stebatek, who we saw here at the Hlinka playing for the Czech Republic last year, played for the Portland Winterhawks this past season. He's a good goaltender, a little bit smaller, but 6'2", I think, 6'1", also good numbers. Both of those guys should be available. So if Edmonton really wants to draft a goalie, they could get one.
Guy, one more for you here, and I'm going to put you on the spot again. Sorry about that, but our off-topic topic for William Huff today, what is your favorite summer treat? You got anything that comes to mind right off the top of your head?
First thing that came to my mind was watermelon. I like watermelon on a hot day, cold watermelon out of the fridge.
Cold out of the fridge, really? Okay. Yeah, I find
where
would
you keep it?
Well, I keep it on the counter.
Grocery stores, he brought up a good point. Like it's out, it's not refrigerated in a grocery store. So like when you first cut into that, you could just eat it right there and it's not cold.
Sure.
I mean,
after that, you got to put it in the fridge.
You've never eaten a watermelon right off the produce aisle at a grocery store, Guy?
No, usually I wait until I've paid for it and I take it home.
Guy, what do you have coming up on the Pipeline Show this week?
I had a final player. All season long, I get draft eligible players on the show. So by this time of year, probably talk to 30, 40, 50 guys that are eligible. The last one was this week. Shane Van Sage is his name. He plays for Michigan State. So he's on the program this week. And then all this month, I've had independent scouts on from all the various platforms out there and publications. A couple this week, Chris Peters from Flow Hockey and Brock Otten from McKean's Hockey are on this week as well. So it's been a long run to the draft, but it all gets done on Friday. Looking forward to it.
Where do you stand on drumstick ice creams?
Love them.
Okay.
Look at me. Am I going to turn down a drumstick ice cream?
But
Come on.
Okay, frozen dessert aisle and stuff, is that the go-to, or is there others like ice cream, gelato, popsicle, freezy? Right. Where's your order of this?
I'm a fan of drumsticks. Drumsticks would be close. I like an ice cream sandwich as well. I'm less of a popsicle guy. I think you guys were talking about that earlier. That is kind of a kid treat, I think. Popsicles and freezes and things. But yes, they're fine. But I would rather have a drumstick personally.
Dusty was an ice cream sandwich
guy
he said to me. As well.
Not a big drumstick guy either.
Not a big drumstick guy, but Guy, we stand in solidarity, you and I. I'm a big drumstick guy. Guy Flaming, thank you for joining us. Guy, host of the Pipeline Show. You can hear it right here on Edmonton Sports Talk on Monday evenings, as well as Saturday afternoon. Guy, thanks for joining us.
Bye, hey, Guy. My pleasure, guys. Anytime.
Saturdays, noon.
Mondays, right here.
7.
All right. The moment you've all been waiting for.
I've got the ice cream.
The aforementioned ice cream debate coming up after the break. That will be presented. That is part of Buying or Selling, presented by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Maddie, go get the ice cream. Coob, you are up.
Live in the top of the third, the Jays are up 2-0 over the Guardians. 2 outs for Toronto. Runner on first base. It's Alejandro Kirk at bat for Toronto. And other action around the league, there's 3 other games live. The Braves and Mets are runless in the bottom of the first. The Yankees and Reds locked at zeros in the first as well, while the Rangers and Orioles have no run in their game in the top of the fourth. Out west, Edmonton is on the road in Victoria. The Riverhawks facing the Harbor Catch. Catch the full game on any of EST's audio streams. That one starts at 7:30. In other news, ESPN's Shams Charania has reported that the Celtics, Hawks, and Nets are finalizing a 3-team deal that sends Kristaps Porzingis, a second-rounder, to the Hawks, having Terrence Mann and Atlanta's 22nd overall pick to the Nets, with George Niang and a second-round pick moving to Boston. This year's Hockey Hall of Fame inductees were announced. Longtime Blackhawk, former Oiler Duncan Keith elected to the Hall, alongside former 70-goal scorer Alex McGillney, longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara, and Sharks legend Joe Thornton. While in Houston, it's Canada and El Salvador duking it out in CONCACAF Gold Cup action. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Right now, Maddie's setting up the ice cream. We all have a taste after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Listen, I should stop cracking on David Tomasek.
You really hate David Tomasek.
I don't hate David Tomasek. What I hate is the principle of going and dipping into Europe, giving a guy guaranteed money, and he's done diddly squat as an NHLer. That, to me, I just don't believe in that philosophy. And if David Tomasek comes in and has a great season, kudos to the Oilers and their scouting staff.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Hosting the Big Canada Day Bash? Make room for the celebration with Sentinel Storage. From decluttering the garage, storing your seasonal gear, and keeping your treasures safe, we've got the space so you can enjoy the day and every day. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest host Matthew Iwanyk here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. A reminder that Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. That's over at playalberta.ca. Well, folks, it's that time of the show. It is that time. We've teased this long enough. This is the great ice cream. Are we calling it the great ice cream debate?
Well, it's not a really. I don't know.
A drumstick is ice cream.
The great freezer debate.
The great freezer debate. It shall be named from now going forth.
So this one, just quickly: cream, concentrated skim milk, sugar, liquid, egg yolk, instant coffee. May contain peanuts, tree nuts.
Oh boy. Okay, we're going to roll with it.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, we'll have to be.
We don't have to be.
Well, we'll try it.
You said you're good with may contains.
Yeah, I am usually good with may contains.
Okay, there's nothing nut-wise in the main ingredients. Don't scare me right now.
I won't. I know you're sensitive towards that. And thank you for not choosing to kill me. It's fine. Today with the pistachio ice cream that we found earlier.
It's gelato.
Had hazelnut what?
Flavoring? Yeah.
Can't do it.
Hazelnut flavor, walnut flavor, traces of peanuts or other nuts, but that doesn't matter.
And Coob is taking part in this discussion. This is all a part of buying or selling, of course, presented by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out at damonbunting.com or his Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. What are we doing first here, Maddie?
Let's get into the Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
What flavor do you have?
I got coffee.
Coffee.
It's got good old coffee. And do you know why ice cream is, and I also gelato. The gelato is the big one. Is like, there's an ice cream spot not too far from it. So there's 90 flavors or something.
You know, the coffee is really, it's a good choice for you.
Why for me?
I've never had coffee ice cream.
It's a nice coffee. It's a nice cap.
You know what it reminds me of? My mom, she used to make a dessert called mocha mousse. And it tasted just like this. Okay. Have you ever had a Jamocha shake from Arby's?
No.
Ooh, talk about a shake you're missing out on. That is a really good. It tastes like a Jamocha shake.
Haagen-Dazs solid ice cream.
Okay. I mean, not.
What does it say about Canada on here? Made in Canada. Can't go wrong.
Matt Hyman says, technically, I don't believe a drumstick is actually ice cream. What are you talking about?
Actually, no. There is. I didn't get into this yet.
What are we talking about here?
Somebody has put it. It's a big TikTok thing. It's a big other thing. I will save that for drumsticks when we get there. Who said that?
Matt Hyman.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, so.
Hey, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, we need to rally.
Zach and I are going to try the pistachio. We got to try, because what I wanted was gelato. Because gelato is the way to go. It is better than ice cream.
Coob, what do you think about the coffee ice cream?
I think it's fantastic. Tastes exactly like you want it to. Coffee. You could probably mix it with a lot of things as well. Like I don't know if you get really
ice cream is pretty
intense
versatile with that.
You can.
It tastes like an ice cap,
up, right?
Exactly. Yeah, if I had to say what this Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream tastes like,
I didn't have a lot of options for flavors.
It tastes healthy. You know, it's not like
it's not healthy. I'll tell you that right now. That's not healthy.
I can believe that.
Try that gelato.
Man, I like ice cream.
Would you like some more?
Nope.
What do you think of the gelato?
Oh.
What's that woe for?
Gelato is like a more silky or softer version of ice cream.
Yes. Has more milk, less, I think, and no like egg.
And it doesn't hit you with that immediate sugar taste, at least with this. Like you enjoy that sort of milk flavor, which isn't too strong. And I love the pistachio. I got to say, great choice.
It's a solid one. This is my choice for this. This is better than a drumstick. You now get a different gelato. Get one that you can eat. But this is the way to go over a drumstick any day of the week.
Oh yeah?
Any day of the week.
Let's find out.
Let's do it. It's not going to be the same. And here's what I've learned about drumsticks.
There's yours.
Apparently, if you leave this out for 24 hours, it will not melt. Or it will barely melt.
Coop. Liar.
It's not real ice cream. I will find the videos and show you guys after. I saw this yesterday. Apparently, these ice creams don't really melt. They barely melt after 24 hours. These are already melting because they're real.
Made with Canadian dairy.
That's fine. It won't melt. It's not real ice cream.
Been around 80 years.
It's not real ice cream.
All right.
It's just chocolate I don't like on the top. Put the nuts everywhere. I'll do it over the bowl.
Yeah, I need the bowl. All right. This is the pinnacle of frozen aisle specialties.
The first bite. It's not great.
Come on.
It's fine.
No, but here's the thing.
That's not good chocolate. That's the problem. Like the nuts are great.
I don't care. I'm not looking for like world-class chocolate here. I'm looking for...
I want something that tastes good.
Something that offers... Look. Everybody look at me. Look what I'm holding in my hand. I don't need a bowl.
I don't need a bowl for this
I don't need chocolate sauce. I don't need to add a bag of peanuts to this. Heck, I don't even have to add caramel sauce because it's all in here. It's all right here. Look at that, Coob.
I don't need a bowl either. I could eat it right out of the pint of ice cream.
Yeah, because that's healthy.
You know what I could do with this? I could share this too.
I'm not sharing your bowl. It's fantastic.
There's just too much ice cream then after too.
To me, this is just the best. Once
plain
you
ice
get
cream. Just plain ice cream. Awesome.
no, but get to the cone.
Oh, God, eat more. You should got to eat it to get to the good stuff. This is all just good stuff.
No, it's a process, Matt.
Yeah, to get to the good stuff, apparently. Because it can't all be good. This can all be good, but this one can't all be good.
I just said everything on top is the good stuff.
And then you get past the nuts and stuff, and it's just way too much ice cream. That won't melt.
I don't care. This is good.
You gonna say something? Oh, you got brain freeze.
No, my mouth is full. Coop, let's throw up a quick poll.
Oh, cool.
Can I finish my ice cream?
What do you rank these for you?
You know what? I've had these drumsticks a lot in my life. And I have to agree with you, Maddie, that that initial bite doesn't get me going. But when I tried that gelato, it was spectacular. And I thought the iced coffee ice cream was pretty good, but
that was a backup.
I'm going to go with the pistachio.
Thank you.
Number one.
I convinced one of your members to join my side, Jay.
I've joined the Matt side.
Steve, now what do you got to say? That is so good. And you got the caramel in the middle. I will say,
Maddie's just a hater who doesn't like fun. Look how much more ice cream gelato I get right here, Big Uke. You think this isn't fun? What do you think this is? It's all fun. And see, look, with this drumstick, I'm almost done it. I still have so much more pistachio gelato to have fun with.
You hear that crunch?
Yeah, cool.
This is the best part.
I'd rather a popsicle still.
This is the best part of a drumstick. Right around when you get to this point, and you just right in the whole thing. Coop, we need to put up a poll.
I'll do it right now. What's the poll?
Haagen-Dazs coffee, ice cream.
Which would you prefer?
Which would you buy?
Which would you buy?
Yeah, I'm done. Look, I don't have any mess on my hands.
Yeah, I have to put mine in a bowl because I can't finish it. Right, because I'm trying to do something here. You can't, it's not versatile. I have a bowl already for the ice cream. It just sits there. Haagen-Dazs.
Call yourself an ice cream fan?
Das coffee ice cream. Ice cream. We got pistachio gelato. They're all going to choose you because
I'm right.
No, because then no one likes me.
Man, I don't think I've ever housed a drumstick that fast.
You did it faster than me.
Oh.
Now, if the question is, which would you buy? You're also weighing in the price, so it's not just the taste, right?
We're not taking it. We're not putting the price into this one.
Okay.
Ooh. Looks like your gelato stinks. Immediate reactions.
I don't care. Leave more gelato for me.
Yeah, you'd like that. But you can't look at me honestly and say that this sucked.
I don't think it sucks. It's just not better than these other two.
It's by far better. It's easier. Hey, I got news for you. Go ahead and try to take your pistachio ice cream on a picnic. What are you going to? You got to bring bowls. You got to bring spoons.
Yeah. So
you want to take this on a picnic? Here,
because it's not real ice cream because it doesn't melt.
The rebuttal
you get off of this. It doesn't melt. I can't verify that. I don't have 24 hours to wait around.
Google it right now.
Okay, let's
don't
leave
know
it
how to
out
Google.
here for the boys tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll leave it on the desk. Matt, at the end of the day, I don't care.
That's not real ice cream.
What I just put in my mouth. This is easy. It's accessible. It's no mess. And it's quite simply delightful.
Look at this, all this peanuts on my papers right now.
I can't I can't manage how you treat your nuts. That's up to you.
What do you mean, no mess?
I got no mess.
Right here. Look at all those on your papers, too.
It's not a mess.
It is a mess.
That's simply the tidbits, crumbs. Calvin
Zach joined
C.
me on that.
Did I just join to watch an ice cream sampling show? Yes.
Yes, you
Calvin
did.
C, you did. And Chen Cool says Haagen-Dazs all the way.
It is a solid ice cream. You know, I was Ben & Jerry's fan. I had Haagen-Dazs over the weekend. I'm like, man, the Haagen-Dazs is really good. It's clutch.
I will give credit to the Haagen-Dazs. What is it actually? Coffee?
It's a coffee flavor.
That was exceptional.
That's good
flavor. If you want to have an ice cream that tastes exactly like an ice cap,
well, look,
buy that.
In the end, I will say this. I'll eat all three of these. I'll eat a drumstick. I just did.
You did.
But if I'm going to pick one, I'm starting with the gelato.
I can't properly rank because the gelato would have killed me.
Jack joined me.
Quick look at the poll. Drumsticks are by far ahead, 56%, to Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream at 31%, pistachio gelato at 12%.
People haven't gone and had gelato. Go have them. Go to the Italian Center. They have it there.
Do you feel like we've come to a consensus that drumsticks are superior?
They're not. You guys are...
You guys?
All of you.
What are you, us people?
Yeah.
Us weirdos that like drumsticks?
Unsophisticated palates.
Oh, get off
and
your high
you want
horse.
To eat this ice cream that isn't even ice cream, that's not going to melt. That's fine. Have at it. And, I'll join you once in a while. But for us sophisticated folk, for us with that refined palate, where we care about what the tastes of what we eat.
You just ate 3 bowls of ice cream.
With a gelato, but you also stick with the Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and that's the way to go. That's how people who are refined will do things. So I'm okay with that. You 50% of people now, go for 48% of people, go for it. Like the numbers have shifted once people have realized then that that unsophisticated palate that you have screams drumstick.
Unsophisticated palate. This palate, which by the way is 9 years older than you.
That's fine. It's not. It
is much more refined.
It hasn't developed over those 9 extra years.
It has.
Not more than mine.
You know what? A lot of things that used to make sense to me don't make sense to me now. You know what I want now? I want comfort. I want predictability. I want ease of use.
Again,
I want what a drumstick offers.
Unrefined.
Fine. Then I'm the most unrefined ice cream man in the world.
Yeah.
But to those that are with me, we stand together. Matt Hyman says, how long is Reid away for?
I got this text.
Oh, from who?
One Kayla.
Oh, what does she have to say?
Don't listen to these Americanized peasants. Superior ice cream or gelato of a drumstick, period. And I like drumsticks.
So you're saying your girlfriend is siding with you?
Yeah, which is rare.
Oh, wow. April could text me too.
Has she though?
And say, I would drum this stick over Matt's head.
Has she? Have any of your girls come out in support of the drumstick over the ice cream or the gelato?
Oh my God, they did.
And what did they say? I want coffee ice cream.
That's from my daughter. Thanks, Grace. You're throwing Daddy under the bus.
Congratulations, Grace.
Oh boy.
Not only was it a good day for you with schooling, but you joined the right side.
This was the ice cream or the freezer aisle. What did we say, Coob?
The Great Freezer Debate.
The Great Freezer Debate as part of Buying or Selling, presented by Damon Bunting. We are almost done. We're going to do a word of the day. Just because, hey, I'm hosting today. We're going to do a word of the day. We got over 100. That's something to be proud of. But first, we're going to get to one more break for the Cube. We are going to be back. This is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Cube, take us home.
8 games are live in baseball, 2 of which in the 4th inning. The Jays up 3-0 over the Guardians midway through the inning, and George Springer, Ernie Clement, and Bo Bichette all with a run, while the Orioles trail the Rangers 3-0. Elsewhere, the Yankees and Reds are in the 2nd, while the Braves and Mets are entering the 3rd. Both of those games runless. Out west, Edmonton is on the road in Victoria. The Riverhawks facing the Harbor Cats. Catch the full game on any of EST's audio streams. That one starts just after 7:30. In other news, ESPN's Sham Charania has reported that the Celtics, Hawks, and Nets are finalizing a 3-team deal, with the Celtics sending Kristaps Porzingis, a 2nd-rounder, to the Hawks, having Terrence Mann from Atlanta and their 22nd overall pick in tomorrow's draft off to the Nets, while George Niang and a 2nd-round pick move from Brooklyn to Boston. This year's Hockey Hall of Fame inductees were announced. Longtime Blackhawk, former Oiler Duncan Keith elected to the Hall, alongside 70-goal scorer Alex McGillney, longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara, and Sharks legend Joe Thornton. In Houston, it's Canada and El Salvador duking it out in CONCACAF Gold Cup action. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Tyrell Ford, Elks defensive back.
I guess going back, I don't really have any feelings yet, but I mean, it'll probably change once I get there. But as far as us versus them, I think it's going to be a good challenge for us. Obviously, Winnipeg's a good team. They've been dominant for pretty long times. I mean, there's no better way to test yourself than against one of the best teams in the league. I think we got something to go prove this week, and I'm excited.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Welcome back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and guest hosts and drumstick lover now, Matthew Iwanyk. This has been quite a contentious topic here in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. The Great Freezer debate. Andrea from Calgary says the real test is what would Dusty pick, assuming the Haagen-Dazs was not coffee, of course. And she does say the real test with respect to the refined palate point of view. Marco says, I've had enough of Maddie and I literally just turned in 30 seconds ago. T-Buds. T-Buds, by the way, is the lead singer of the band, The Heavies, that is responsible for the Reid Wilkins Show intro song. So thanks for tuning in, T-Buds. Check out The Heavies if you haven't already. He says drumsticks all day, every day. Jason Stevens. Normally, I think Maddie argues just for the sake of arguing. However, he's definitely 100% right on this one.
Thank you.
Pat says Magnums are better than drumsticks. And Grumpy Cat says made with Canadian dairy like ginger ale is made from real ginger. LOL. Probably some sort of oil-based product in the drumstick. I feel they were better 15 years ago. Now, I will tell you all this, that we went and put our ice creams away. Coob, don't worry, I did the dishes in the break. You're off the hook. But Matt did say what?
You're not supposed to do these things on air.
What did you say?
You're going to have to learn about radio after this.
What do you mean? The people need to know.
You're going to have to learn about radio after this. It was better than I remembered.
It's not like you're throwing anything under the bus. You just said it was better than you remembered.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
You can still have your pistachio gelato and your Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream.
It's still better.
My daughter sides with you.
I know.
I mean, what more do you want? What else can you take from my soul and strip away?
It's 40-40 right now on the vote, too.
Oh, boy. We better end the show.
It's also 42-39. Drumstick took a slight lead.
Well, it's close. I can.
Yeah, but now it's like the two. Like I'm getting a vote split.
That might be true. You might be getting a vote split happening here. Do you have? So you know what? I appreciate the nasties. Reid Wilkins will be back tomorrow. We're gonna have to be determined, but we could have a very, 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 very special guest right here in studio. Professional basketball player. I'll leave it at that. We're still working out the details, so hopefully that happens. I believe we're going to hear from the Riverhawks.
Oh, well, Jake Lamferman, I'll have to follow up with him. They're getting ready for a game out in Victoria tonight. He might join the show tomorrow as well. I'll keep you posted.
And we'll probably be talking a bit about the Elks game in Winnipeg coming up this Thursday.
Green and Gold kickoff show,
5:30. Well. That's fun.
On Thursday.
It's your turn for supper, eh?
I know.
You going to bring gelato?
No, I'm not bringing you a frozen dessert ever again in my life. I told you that earlier in today. Trying to think what... Like, I wanted to do something a little different.
Yeah.
Probably going to be pizza.
That's okay.
I don't have time. I wanted to cook, like prep and cook something and bring something to cook.
Don't worry. You've done enough work with me for the week. You're off the hook. You just do something simple, okay? Ease your mind. Okay, Matt, let's do this.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
For the word of the day today, which we're doing fraudulently, and do this under protest.
Okay. Noted.
Good.
Noted in the minutes.
It's like baseball protests. You ever seen a baseball game get protested? And you're like, nothing's going to come of this. But the team protested. Okay, good job. This is something you can get in a frozen dessert aisle.
Ooh, okay.
A sorbet.
Sorbet.
A sorbet. I shouldn't have told you that first part. Sorbet.
Sorbet. I know what sorbet is.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. You're supposed to have to define it and all that stuff.
Well, I hope I know how to define it. I certainly
Which way do
know
you
how
go
to
first? Do you spell it first?
I certainly know how to spell it. It's spelled like sorbet. SORBET. That would be sorbet.
Yeah, you can hit that. There you go. I can't ask you ice cream. Spell ice cream. Actually, I do have a different one that I could have went with.
You want to go for two?
Sure.
We're breaking the law anyways. But I think a sorbet is an ice-based flavored frozen dessert.
Dessert consisting of frozen fruit juice or flavored water and sugar. I was hoping you'd say fruit there. Then I'd give you
directionally.
So I'll give you most of it.
1.25 out of 2. Go for another one.
For 1.75.
Okay, 1.75 it is. Go for another one.
Who?
Fudgesicle.
I feel like you should get this one too.
FUDGESICLE.
Perfect. Just crushing it.
Now, a fudgesicle would be just a chocolate iced. I don't believe it's milk based. A fudgesicle. I think that is also a chocolate flavored iced dessert.
It is a frozen chocolate confection on a stick.
Sounds like my drumstick.
Except it's not on a stick.
A fudgesicle? Or no, it doesn't need a stick because you can hold it in your hand. That's the beauty of it. All right. It is time to get out. What do we got coming up on the EST stream tonight?
Coming up, VIP golf show. replay is coming up next on
Coop
our audio
produces
streams.
that, you know.
Coop produces that. We do got Riverhawks action coming up tonight. They're out in Victoria, as I mentioned. Open up a series against the Harbor Cats. And then 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dustin Nilsson, Lieutenant Eric, YouTube
Back at
Trev.
it.
Tomorrow it's a grand return of Reid Wilkins. Don't worry, people. You don't have to see me on this show tomorrow, but you will see me on the Hangout tomorrow.
This was the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. On behalf of myself, Zachary Kubish, and Matthew Iwanyk.
Go Canada.
I will see you tomorrow.